There we go. What's up, everybody? As you could tell, we're always on top of the ball here in the illustrious, elaborate, high-tech, cutting-edge studios here in my basement here in Las Vegas, Nevada. What's going on, party people? It is your man, Sean Zittel, holding it down fresh off my daughter's second birthday for a good card tonight. Emanuel, Vaquero, Navarrete taking on Ricardo Azúcar, Sugar, a.k.a. Sugar, Nunez in a unification fight. But we're starting off right now with Tamir Smalls against Abel Ramos, battle-hardened veteran. Tamir Smalls is the illest. Okay? It's unbelievable. All right, round one, though. Tamir Smalls comes up out of the Philadelphia gym alongside Bozy Ennis, Jerron Ennis. Good jab by Tamir Smalls with about 20 seconds left in this opening round. Abel Ramos trying to press forward, use that experience, apply some pressure on Tamir Smalls coming out of Philly. Good little right hand to the body by Abelito and a little short left hook up top. Back comes Tamir Smalls, but falls short to the body as Abel Ramos takes a step out of range. And this round's going to finish in the center of the ring. Had to set up the stream, so we'll keep score as we go along from the second one going on. But what is going on, everybody? What's up, King Pound for Pound? What's up, Ivan the GOAT? Thank you guys for joining on a short notice. And let's have some fun tonight, man. Let's have fun. Got about 20 people already in here. And yeah, let's have fun. You guys send anything your way, anything you want my way during this live. We got the Japanese gummies. Only one left though, but these are pretty good. If you don't know, now you know. Okay, as far as the Biggie Smalls references continue to go. For Tamir Smalls, Tamir Smalls is the illest. It's unbelievable. Tamir Smalls is the illest. All right, we're not being biased to Tamir Smalls. We're just doing a corny reference with his name to Biggie. Okay? It's not the worst thing in the world. All right, round two. Here we go. Center ring. And yeah, Tamir Smalls, trained by his father, trains out of the dungeon with Jerron Ennis. Had a really nice knockout on Pro Box not too long ago. See a little bit of similar technique to how he jabs. Staying on his front foot right now like Jerron Ennis in terms of the jab. But double jab, sweeping right hand. Abel Ramos taking a step out of range. Comes back with his left hook, falls short. Back on the jab is Smalls, but not accurate with that jab to start in round two. Getting off first, though. Peppering Ramos on the outside with the jab. Ramos staying defensively responsible. Starts moving his head out of the high guard a little bit. Crouches down. Catches a left hook on the high guard by Smalls. Tries to time him with his own jab at the same time. Good jab by Tamir Smalls. Another good jab. Stepping over to his left. Double jab. Right hand. Ramos shakes his head no, but Smalls is getting off first in the center of the ring to start this first minute of the round. Now Ramos tries to freeze him up top and then place a right hand to the body. Back comes Smalls on his jab. Ramos wanting to apply some pressure. Jabs to the chest. Back comes Smalls. A little off balance. Leaping forward with behind his jab. Good right hand to the body by Ramos. A little left hook catches him on the top of the head, but that was a good scoring right hand to the body by Ramos. Trying to use timing and his veteran experience there makes Smalls break his base before he resets in the center of the ring. Smalls took a walk as a southpaw, reset as an orthodox fighter. Now he jabs to the body. Ramos doing a decent job of making Smalls not too accurate early on, but Smalls is getting off first. Ramos moving that head around, crouches down, 2-1. Smalls steps out of range, makes him fall short. Both fighters not connecting clean here in the second round. Smalls, though, a little busier. Smalls trying to get underneath that jab, shoot a straight right hand to the body. A 2-1 from Smalls in the center of the ring. 50 seconds left in the round. They trade hooks. Both nudge each other with it a little bit. But again, neither fighter really landing too clean just yet. Smalls, though, again, getting off first, getting off a little bit more active. Good right hand to the body by Smalls off a left hook up top that was caught on the glove by Ramos. Now a jab lands for Smalls. Takes a step out of range, goes back on his jab, center of the ring. Lead hand cocked by his waist. Now he picks it up. Ramos gets off with his jab, falls short with it. Ramos trying to left hook to the body off the jab, falls short with it. Double jab right hand by Smalls, not quite on the money. Smalls with a little left hook off his jab in between punches, and that found a home a little bit there on the chest on Ramos. I'm going to give... Oh, they trade right there. Smalls pulling out a little bit dangerously, but punching with Ramos in that exchange. 10 seconds left. Smalls back, touches the ropes. And, you know, Ramos with a couple of nice spots with timing and a little touching with that right hand of the body a little bit. Smalls, not that accurate, but getting off first and getting off more often in the center of the ring to where you could have scored that round for Tamir Smalls. I think so. I think without a whole lot of clean work to pick from either fighter, that you give the edge to Smalls, just being a little bit busier and staying in the center of the ring as opposed to that pressure mounting up. And Vaquero Navarrete walking through the dressing room. We'll get into his fight a little bit later. I don't know what to expect from Navarrete tonight. You know, Eduardo Nunez, Sugar Nunez walking through. Looks like the stronger, healthier fighter. Like he has taken care of his body better in between fights. You got to wonder if that catches up to Vaquero Navarrete, who's been at times seemingly undisciplined. I think he lost, even though 135 is high for him, I think he lost to a much less talented fighter in Denis Berinchyk because he came in soft, body type-wise. So, yeah, let's see. What's up, Sean? In here from Harlem, USA. Shout out to you, Sharon Broadmack. Shout out to Robert Hansen. Jesus M, what's up, brother? Jubes, what's up to you, man? Malin Film says, what was your first thoughts when Sean said that was sexy? Used to it at this point. That's a phrase, turn of phrase Sean uses a lot. Not going to put the pause on my man Sean. Actually, I got to host Sean's tomorrow. Sean won't be in, so your boy takes the big chair tomorrow with Bruce Shushu Carrington, our guy Ant. But let's get to it. Round 3, Chris Mannix has got Tamir Smalls up 2-0. And I got to give credit to Chris Mannix and Grisham and Moore. I feel like they found better chemistry. I feel like the broadcast is stronger from those three than it was a few years ago. So shout out to them for their improvement across the board. But Smalls, about 20 seconds ago, got Ramos on the ropes and landed a 3-2 a little bit. Came with the left hook, straight right hand. Didn't land on the money, but began touching him with it. And I see from Ramos starting to press a little bit. Nice double jab, right hand by Tamir Smalls, who seems to be settling down in there. Though right after I say it, he throws a right hand off an uppercut, gets a little bit off balance. But Smalls is beginning to open up more and more offensively. Still staying behind his jab, double jab, makes Ramos fall short with a lead left hook. And Ramos, to me, looking a touch frustrated right now against the ring generalship and a little bit of that volume by Smalls, but still determined to make this relatively green fighter to him pay for his mistakes. But Smalls in control, composed, not yet really, landing too clean on the veteran. Just missed the overhand right behind his jab, but he's getting off first. He's not allowing any kind of pressure to mount him consistently on the ropes. Nice little check left hook there by Smalls as Ramos tried to go to the body. Now Ramos lands a jab. Ramos comes over the top of that jab with a right hand. 55 seconds left in the third round. Double jab, keeping Ramos at bay. Ramos again tries to lead with a hook, but Smalls keeps that right hand up, pushes off. Good left hook to the body by Ramos in the center of the ring, but Smalls is beginning to get comfortable more and more punching with Ramos and wants to begin to do what Jaron Ennis does, and that's punctuate the exchanges. But Ramos trying to stay slow and steady, keep it tight, keep it fundamentally sound, throws his jab, makes Smalls miss a lead left hook. Ramos has decent defense in there, not getting caught too clean right now by Smalls, who's still trying to solve the veterans' fundamentally sound kind of defense. Ramos still trying to time Smalls, comes over the top with a dangerous right hand. Smalls rolls it, catches it on the chest. Then Ramos touches him with a jab up top. Smalls trying to take the fight a little. He hold his ground. Not take the fight to Ramos, but hold his ground in the center of the ring. And Ramos not applying all-out pressure all 3 minutes of the round. Spending significant portions holding his ground or trying to come forward, but also taking a step out of range. I just think the younger man, a little bit quicker on the draw, hasn't really hit the veteran that clean, but he's getting off first, and that's allowing him to have an advantage a little bit earlier over the veteran, who's still trying to time him, still trying to wait to pick his spots as this kid gets zealous and opens up and make a mistake. Smalls' form, he gets a little bit off balance on some of these shots. There was a nice right hand to the body right around the rib cage for Tamir Smalls. making him fall short with a jab, and then coming back with a right hand to the rib cage. That was a nice right hand back right underneath the shoulder of Smalls. So neither guy able to really place cleanly landed shots. Neither guy really marked up early on. What's up, Bebop Jones? What's up, James Dickinson? Shout out to Scotland as always. D-Wiz26 from Queens, New York. Shout out. New York is in the building from Harlem to Queens. And as always, my guys, Bebop Jones and James Dixon. So I wonder how many people will get in here. You know, I started a little late. Came home from my little girl's birthday party. Family still having fun at the birthday party, but I had to come home and get it in a little bit, you know? I had to. So, again, Smalls falling short to start round 4, but getting off first. And backing Ramos up to start this round. One thing you don't like by Smalls, though, you know, I was with Bruce Shushu Carrington talking with him for a little bit of time. I'll be with him tomorrow on the show. He was impressed by young Amari Jones, you know, with a knockout, a stoppage over the veteran Luis Cuba Arias, giving the youngsters some valuable rounds. And, you know, Jones, even when he would miss, a couple of good right hands to the body by Abelito Ramos there, placing those right hands to the body, just disguising it with a jab up top, lands a jab up top, makes Small fall short. So Ramos, with a touch of momentum here, gets underneath the jab twice, and I'll get to that point in a minute. 2 digging body shots by Ramos as he ducks his head down, takes some firepower up top off a jab, but digs in 2 good body shots. Harder work there by Abelito Ramos, who I think is a little bit behind to start this fight. 2-1 or 3-0. But has still not let the young man be that effective with any clean, effective shots. Ramos getting to the body again. Smalls trying to punctuate with a right hand up top, but not quite land. Another left hook to the body by Ramos in the center of the ring. Picking shots. They trade jabs. Smalls gets the better of it, but another short right hand to the body by Ramos in the center of the ring. 2-piece to the body by Ramos. Right, left. Digging to the body in the center of the ring. Takes a step out. He rolls a right hand. Some of that got through, but comes back with a 2 to the body and a 1 up top as Smalls try to pull back out after getting his work off. And Ramos with a little bit of rhythm up top, moving his head. Good defense by Ramos. Remember, his younger, what is he? His nephew or is he his cousin? I think it's his nephew. Jesus Ramos is not a come-forward, constant pressure Mexican fighter, more of an intelligent boxer-puncher type fighter. And you're seeing from his tío, his uncle, Abelito Ramos, that he is a patient fighter too. And solid defense in this fight so far by Ramos. He hasn't been able to get off first in the center of the ring against the younger man. But this round, he is picking some good body shots and using his jab enough to set up that work to the body. Misses with a sweeping right hand to the body, but good defense, transitioning back to defense, making Smalls fall short with a right hand. Now Smalls picks up the high guard, short left uppercut gets in for Ramos. Ramos with little decoy punches, good head movement by Ramos, getting underneath and rolling a 3-punch combo. Good right hand to the body by Smalls as Ramos takes a step in. Smalls ties him up. I think that's the first round I could score for Ramos here in the 4th. 39-37 Tamir Smalls. 38-38 wouldn't be out of the question because there wasn't a whole lot to choose from in those first 3 rounds. I just see Smalls getting off first and keeping the fight more where he wants. But I think that 4th round, off some effective body work by Ramos and some clean defense by Ramos, won him that round. Anyways, back to Tamir Smalls. One thing I don't like seeing, and Jaron Ennis will do this too sometimes, but he's a special kind of talent who gets away with this, who could be off balance and then still punctuate with the next punch in succession and hurt you and catch you. And DAZN showing the clean body work by Ramos here on the replay. But Smalls gets a little bit off balance when missing some of these right hands, missing some of these shots. And what Bruce Carrington was impressed by Amari Jones out of Oakland, the middleweight, was even when he missed with a big hook, a big counter, he was still on balance. And, you know, we can't forget, Joe Louis, Emanuel Stewart said the secret to a great fighter is good balance. So we're into the 5th now. I got Smalls ahead 3-1, but Ramos is being a consistent veteran there with some good timing. And they trade jabs 15 seconds in. Ramos, his punch placement is a little bit more accurate at this juncture in the fight. They trade jabs. Smalls gets the better of that one, though. Smalls, again, gets the better of the battle of the jab in the center of the ring as they exchange. Ramos staying in front. Bends down. High guard. Smalls dropping the lead hand by the hip. falls short with a 1-2. Again, balance not great when he misses that and falls in, but lands his jab right after that. Ramos, lead left hook off the mark, but stumbles him a little bit with the right hand because Smalls was off balance. It wasn't that clean or effective of a shot, but Smalls trying to open up and punch with Ramos, a little off balance with the right hand back. Chris Mannix has got it 4-0. I got it 3-1. I think Ramos won that last round. So now Smalls, good creativity by Smalls. Off the ropes, throws a right uppercut off the jab, and then cleans up with a left hook, and that landed clean. Knocked Ramos' head around a bit. That was a good shot by Smalls and showing some offensive creativity there. Now Ramos gets tied up with Smalls near the ropes. Smart tie-up by Smalls to get this fight back in the center of the ring. They trade jabs. Ramos holding his ground. So is Smalls. Smalls jabs to the body, makes him miss a right hand, catches a right hand, exchanges with Ramos, and ties him up. That's going to frustrate Ramos, who wants to try to punctuate that exchange, but Smalls got off 2-1. Oh, good left hook to the body by Smalls. And Jaron Ennis, again, in that same gym, is a hell of a body puncher. He will punctuate an exchange with a good body shot. Now, though, Ramos drives Smalls to the ropes. Smalls a little off balance. Doesn't look the best body positioning-wise as Ramos cleans up with a few sweeping right hands. Ramos back in the center of the ring trying to lead with a left hook, but Smalls catches it on the right glove with that lead glove low. Smalls maybe setting up a right hand over the top, dropping his lead hand, holding his ground. Nice double long jab by Tamir Smalls. Makes Ramos miss his jab, resets, takes a step back in the center of the ring. Nice pivot off to slip off to the left, throws the jab, but Ramos throws 2 or 3 left hooks when they close range and gets the better of that. Now he lands his jab with Smalls exiting out to his left. Smalls eats a little bit of a right hand pulling back near the ropes. And Ramos leans his weight down in the clinch. Referee breaks him up. Close round. 20 seconds left. Nice jab by Smalls in the center of the ring. Lifts that head up. Ramos leading with the right hand, trying to punch where Smalls is exiting, but Smalls keeps the gloves up, comes back with a shot of his own, and then ties Ramos up to frustrate him again. Lead hook misses for Ramos. Back comes Smalls, too slow on the counter. And again, not a lot of effective work between these two. Not a lot of separation between these two. But I think a round like that, sometimes I like the punch play. Yeah, I give it to Smalls. 4-1. Now they're interviewing my man Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford tried to get at me on Twitter a little bit, but respect to the young champ. We saw each other at Murataya Cruz. It is all good. And I like Raymond Ford. And Shockey Foster, man, I was saying I like that Shakur Stevenson fight. I don't know why he didn't keep the WBC interim 135-pound title. Now you go back to 130. Not as much big names at 130. You might have to wind up defending your belt against Raymond Ford. And Raymond Ford is a younger bull who's probably going to be stronger, not having spent a long time at 130. Shock is a big 130 who should probably move up any minute now. He had a peak performance against Stephen Fulton, but you wonder how long a guy who's 5'8", 72-inch reach is going to keep making 130, how many more years he could do that and be strong. So anyway, Raymond Ford ringside. Back to the action in round 6. Smalls gets his shots in better than Ramos, says Z Raymond. Yeah, I agree. Tippy-tap shots for Bebop Jones. Yeah, I don't see either guy, that effective. But Smalls is getting off a little bit more. Younger guy, a little quicker on the draw, moving his feet around the ring a little bit more. So, but I admire some of the veteran skill of Ramos. It's not an action-packed fight by any means, but Ramos is fighting with a solid game plan himself. But Smalls, a little bit busier and more accurate with his jab. Got a long jab, fights more in the center of the ring. He's getting off with a little bit more volume. And I think body language-wise, Ramos a little more frustrated. That's good inside fighting by Smalls with about a minute into the 6th round. Ramos got to the body, and then back came a 2-piece up top by Smalls. And then Smalls stabbing with a jab to the body. Ramos comes right back. Minute 50 left in the 6th round. Smalls, good lead right hand by Ramos, but not a lot of power on it because he had to reach for it against the ranginess of Smalls. Smalls with a 3-piece combo. Ramos, good defense, but not able to get back. Smalls ties him up. Ramos jousts with him a little bit. Referee separates them back into the center of the ring halfway through the round. Nice jab, nice right hand by Ramos. Part of that split the guard of Smalls. Nice right uppercut to the body by Smalls. Coming back. Smalls trying to counterpunch and hold his ground. Nice lead right hand by Ramos. And Smalls off balance with a return right hand. Back with his double jab. Not quite on the mark. That's a good couple of sequences for Ramos. Sitting down on his punches with a little bit better balance than Smalls. And Smalls trying to hook and pivot out. Not that effective with it as Ramos misses a 2-1. 57 seconds left in the round. Close round. I think Ramos got some decent work done in the last 30 to 40 seconds. Lead right hand lands for Ramos again. Back comes Smalls. Ramos with the gloves up. And this is a fight where you got to watch with a close eye. You can't just, because Ramos looks a little frustrated and because Smalls has a longer jab in the center of the ring, can't just assume he's getting the better of all these sequences. Lead left hook to the body by Ramos. Finds a little bit around that right elbow of Smalls. Back comes Smalls with a 1-2. Oh, they exchange. And Ramos, to me, getting in the 2 body shots. Smalls cleaning up with the right hand up top. But it's not as clean as placement as those 2 body shots by Ramos. 10 seconds left. A sweeping right hand. Smalls backs up in the high guard a little bit near the corner. Back comes Smalls with a nice right hand off a quick touch jab. Ramos rolls it, but that looks good to the judges, and it landed. And that does it for round 6. That's a round where, Ramos has to have a little bit better body language. He goes back to the corner, frustrated. The longer fighter is keeping the fight in the center of the ring. But, to my eyes, he had some effectively placed shots that round. And again, neither guy is landing a lot of those head-snapping, clean shots. You're not going to see a lot of facial damage from either fighter because not a whole lot is landing clean. But I think Ramos placed some decent shots that round. I can see this 58-56 Smalls. I don't know if he's pitching a shutout like DAZN might quite have it. There it is. A couple of right hands on the slow-mo by DAZN, or on the replay by DAZN, not in slow-mo. I actually like the work of Ramos better that round. And the replays on DAZN are showing why. 2, they trade right hands. But a little bit more on the replays by Ramos that round. And that's what I got. A 58-56 for Smalls. Round 7, here we go. Again, that long jab of Smalls, keeping it long in the center of the ring, getting off first with it, peppering with it. It's not really landing, but it's controlling the fight. It's controlling the range. He's not giving a whole lot of ground in this fight either. Yeah, he's turning, he's pivoting at times, but he has seldom really had to fight off the ropes in this round. Chris Mannix has it 58-56 just like I do. Smalls, though, getting off first. A couple of right hands get in on Smalls as he opens up with a 4-5-6 punch combination. Ramos, the veteran, slipping some shots, placing 2 right hands without a whole lot of touch power on them. And now Smalls lands a straight right hand over the top. And right now, Ramos trying to lead the right hand. Back him up in a line and then place the right hand where he's trying to exit to Smalls. But Smalls keeps his hands up on those exits. Nice double right hand by Smalls. Long right hand. Smalls 2-1. And now a little step back. Check left hook for Smalls. Left hook, straight right hand. And Ramos has to pick it up. Or that getting off first from Tamir Smalls. That willingness to try to control the fight and controlling the fight with his length, even when not all the shots are landing, is going to probably win him this fight on the cards unless Ramos can really crack him with this patient style he's using tonight. Halfway through the round, and I don't think Ramos has done enough. And there's a little bit of swelling around the left eye of Ramos now from those right hand. Nice short right uppercut by Smalls. Shortens up his shots on the inside. Back comes Ramos with a sweeping right hand. Exchange on the inside, but Smalls getting off 2-1, letting his hands go. Not fighting timid. Now a nice left hook to the body by Ramos. Steps forward. But back comes Smalls on the inside. Shortens up his shot. Left hook, right uppercut. Nice sweeping right hand to the body by Ramos after he misses the left hook. 2-1 by Smalls off the ropes. Smalls still on the ropes. Hard left hook to the body by Ramos as he makes Smalls dip down out of the high guard. And he places a left hook to punctuate his 2-punch sequence right there. Smalls near the ropes. His back has touched the ropes a little bit more this round. He exits out to his right. 40 seconds left. Nice little touch left hook lands off the lead shot by Smalls. Nice sweeping right hand by Ramos with Smalls' back touching the ropes. Now Smalls turns him back in the center of the ring. Little bit more signs of fatigue by Smalls. Lead left hand lands for Ramos, goes back to the body right after it. Jab to the body by Smalls, another jab to the body. Ramos resets his positioning, stays on top of him, throws a little combination to the body. They miss, cleans up with 2 left hooks up top. Not too effective in that sequence of punches, but gets off. And the work in the first minute and a half by Smalls will probably edge him that round. Just Ramos a little too patient, a little too economical. It's not a lot to choose from when it comes to clean, effective work, but Smalls with his length and getting off first, controlled, and he landed a couple of sharp right hands here and there in the first minute and a half that caused a little bit of swelling on Ramos's left eye, which is getting tended to in the corner. So I gave that round to Tamir Smalls. 5-2 for Tamir Smalls, 68-65. Not a wow performance by any means, but length, a little bit more volume, and a willingness to fight when he needs to. When Ramos, he's not just simply fighting off a jab, turning, and then tying up. He is tying up, but it's smart when he needs to, and he's punching with Ramos a few times that round and throughout the fight on the inside. Even shortened up his punches decent there a few times. So, yeah, 68-65. Yeah, let's see. Sean Kermel Moten fights tonight. What do you think? He got a second round stoppage in the corner, didn't he? Kermel's talented, you know. I'm happy he got a fight in. Very marketable, strong bull, athletic. So you just gotta see him more. You just gotta, get the right opportunities, get on the right cards, and fight. Hopefully, he's on that Mayweather Pacquiao Netflix. Matt Borgeson, 4-3 Smalls. Disagree with that call, Sean. I'm not mad at it. Thank you, Matt, for the super chat. Always good to see you, brother. All right, now Ramos coming forward behind some body work, digs in 2 good body shots. I would, 68-65, 67-66 Smalls. I just think Ramos, with 3 rounds left, got to pick it up. And he's off to a decent start in this 8th round, making Smalls back up a little bit more, digging a few body shots. Nice jab by Ramos. Follows up with the right. Nice double jab by Ramos. And that lifts up the chin a little bit of Tamir Smalls. Smalls, I think, in a little bit deep waters with the veteran now. Oh, he exchanges, though, with Ramos and cleans up with a left hook. Punches in between. Shortens up that shot. Smalls is a little tired. Yeah, back straight out near the ropes. Oh, good left hook, though, by Smalls. Backing Ramos into it. Ramos has to press now. I think he's got a little bit more in the tank, having went a lot more, veteran, even championship rounds than Smalls. He has got to pick this up now. Smalls swimming with him in some deep waters. Digs to the body back. Back comes Ramos and digs the body. But Ramos bangs his gloves together. Goes back on his double jab. Misses a right uppercut off the jab. Sharp right hand by Smalls. Even looking a little fatigued and going to the ropes, he lands a straight right hand over the top of Ramos's work. 1:09 left in this round. Ramos gets Smalls to the ropes, but can't make it effective work. Back in the center. Smalls throws with his jab. Rolls a right hand, ties Ramos up. Ramos, again, a little frustrated with that body language. Smalls looks at his corner. Probably his legs are a little heavy. He's a little tired. Nice right hand by Ramos. Backs him up in a line near the ropes and sweeps the right hand behind a jab. Smalls looking at his corner a lot. He is a little fatigued. Nice double jab by Smalls. Steps to his left. Picks his gloves up. Ramos shoots a jab. Ramos got him near the corner. 4-punch combo. None of it landing up top. A little bit of a right hand to the body. Nice left hook by Smalls. Resets himself in the center of the ring. Those long arms catching Ramos when he thinks he's out of range. And little sneaky timing by Smalls in these exchanges. A little bit of a flurry by Ramos with Smalls near the rope. Smalls misses with a right uppercut. Ramos bangs his gloves. Good finish to the round by Ramos with Smalls against the ropes. Ramos says, ooh, but I don't know. I still got 77-75 Smalls. 78-74, 77-75 Smalls. So So what's up, Zero Earth? What's up, Loza Down Under? How is Kermel fighting at 147 and is 5'4" disciplined, undisciplined motherfucker? I just think he, I don't know, man. When you don't keep a young fighter active, you know, they can be eating food. And he has a naturally big, big bone structure, whatever it is. He's naturally a wide body kind of guy. Lots of muscle on him. But I agree. He's at the age where you're supposed to be able to take advantage of your youthful metabolism and squeeze down to 35, squeeze down to 40, maybe even 30, and then let your body grow into welterweight. Kind of starve yourself a little bit, like Devin Haney did at 135, like Oscar did at 130, so on and so forth. And get a title down there while you can, you know, if you're really that guy. But a little bit of mishandling of his career doesn't help him. But I hear you. Don't let him completely off the hook. Already fighting at 147, you know. But he hasn't got a naturally big body, you know, wide. Chris Mannix has this fight even for Ramos and Smalls. I'm not mad at it, man. There's not a lot to choose from. Smalls is gassing right now. Ramos's punch placement is a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. But I would have it 77-75 Smalls. I'm not mad. I don't think 76, 70. There's not a lot to choose from in this fight. Not a lot of clean, effective work by either fighter. I would edge it to probably Smalls, but I'm not mad if you think Ramos's work is a little bit more, has a little more substance to it. And this is a decent round by Ramos right now. Smalls is kind of tired and conning his way through the round. Not that effective. Ramos's pressure is mounting. His back is touching the ropes more. There's a little right sweeping right hand over the top made Smalls' legs buckle for a second. He said no, and Smalls is maybe a little dazed in there. Minute and a half left in the ninth. Ramos has got to throw more. Got to mount this attack. Good right hand lands for Ramos. Gets underneath the sweeping left hook back. Smalls back near the ropes, and he's a little arm weary. Ramos still loading up with full power. Smalls' mechanics deteriorating a little bit. He's tired. Sweeping right hand with Smalls in the high guard. Now a double jab lands for Ramos. Ramos is in business. Ramos has got to make a moment happen. Blood starting to come from the mouth of Tamir Smalls now. Ooh, good left hook, though, by Smalls near the ropes as he caught the body shot, took the body shot and landed the left hook up top. Smalls pulling out of range with his hands down, eats a right hand on his chin. He rolls with it, comes back with an arm weary 1-2-3. The left hook lands, but not without a lot of steam on it. 30 seconds left. This is a Ramos round. 2-3 body shots by Ramos in close. Smalls shakes his head no, but that's work with substance by Ramos. And again, Smalls is arm weary this round. Ramos touching with his jab. 12 seconds left. Touching with it. Measuring now. Smalls in the high guard. So Ramos has got to shoot there. Misses the right hand. Falls well short. Smalls breaks his base. Leaves southpaw. Oh, good flurry by Ramos at the bell. Smalls holds on. Ramos finishing with left hands or left hook, straight right hands. He says he pumps his fist to the crowd, and the crowd is on his side. This is a 5-4 kind of fight now. Yeah, this is a close fight. 86-85 Smalls or 86-85 Ramos. Is that kind of fight? I do think Smalls is going to bite down here. Ramos is going to have a fighter in front of him who knows it's tight on the cards, who's going to pull the trigger more and be in range more when he pulls the trigger. Ramos has got to let him hang this round. That was a sweeping right hand that landed on the chin that buckled Tamir Smalls. That was maybe the best shot of the fight, and it was by Ramos. You know, I liked Ramos's work in the middle rounds, and then I felt he was letting Smalls in 7 and 8 maneuver through the ring, use his length enough, catch him coming in here and there. But I like that 9th round by Abel Ramos. So here we go. Yeah, Smalls is tired. Round 10. Ramos has got to let it hang out here. It's a close fight. He's the undefeated fighter. I know you're fighting in front of a largely Mexican audience in Arizona, but You've let Smalls get off to quick starts in these rounds. Chris Mannix has Ramos winning the last 5 rounds to go up 86-85. Good body shot by Ramos, stepping inside of those long arms and get into the body. Get Smalls near the ropes. Can't really be too effective, but Smalls not being effective himself. Nice right hand by Ramos off the jab. You can see it twist the chin of Smalls behind that high guard. Smalls exits out. They trade jabs. Ramos measuring, cocking his right hand. Lead left hook, and Smalls staying defensively smart. Keeps his right hand up to block it. 43 body shots for Ramos to just 14 for Smalls. That body work has been effective in this fight. And it started in the 4th round. They trade jabs. Ramos getting the better of it. Ramos with the momentum right now. Misses a right hand over the top off the jab. Makes Smalls miss a lead left hook. Off balance. Sloppy by Smalls. Smalls sloppy in spots with his balance like we said early in the rounds. Minute 40 left in the fight. Ramos closing stronger. Smalls not doing shit this round. Halfway through it, drives him to the ropes, lands a right hand to the body, and that 3 or 4 punch combination, Smalls just ties up. Still very tired. Jab lands for Ramos. Back Smalls up. Smalls back near the ropes. High guard. Lead left uppercut by Ramos. Just off the mark. 2-1 by Smalls. Double left hook by Smalls. Not a lot of steam on it. Ramos, solid, sound defense. Minute left in the fight. Lead left uppercut. Busts through the high guard a little bit for Ramos. Double left hook. Misses a right hand, but that left hook lands. Down goes Smalls. Off balance on a slip. Referee wipes his gloves. 50 seconds left. This is a Ramos round. He's closing strong in the 9th and the 10th. They trade left hooks to the body. Off the exit by Smalls. Smalls getting backed up to the ropes a lot more now than he did earlier in the fight. Nice 2, 3, 4 right hands to the body. Body shots by Ramos. They trade left hooks to punctuate the exchange, but Ramos getting off a lot more there. And working that body, tenderizing that meat. 20 seconds left. Smalls clinches back to the center of the ring. He's done nothing effective this round. This is a Ramos round. Lead left hook falls short for Ramos, but he has closed the show strong. I think he may have pulled out a draw or even a close win. This could be a controversial decision for Smalls, or a close win for Ramos, or a draw. Let's see what we get on the scorecards. I think Ramos gave some rounds away that could haunt him, but I also feel like he definitely got the better work done overall, the more quality punch placement, especially to the body. And Smalls gassed late and didn't really have anything on his punches late. But did Ramos give away by Smalls controlling the center? Because his back didn't touch the ropes a whole lot until very late in the fight. Did Smalls give away too much of some of those early rounds? So we'll see. Got a super chat. What's up, Steve Santiago? Who do you like, Fundora or Thurman? Always good to see you, Steve. I got Fundora, for sure. Fundora. Absolutely. Izoa down under. Loza down under says, Sean, you should do commentary for a major network. You a great call. You're a great bro. How professional. Just listen to you. Thank you, brother. I don't think... I appreciate it. I hope it's not too dry with me just straight calling the action and not sometimes being the most, entertaining. I'm just calling the action, but... Matt Borgeson says, I got Navarrete tonight. I don't care if he's shop-worn. I think he's a dynamic talent. I agree with you. That is just a bit unorthodox. Nunez KO power is fabricated by Cans. I'm with you quite a bit, Matt. I just don't know if I have Navarrete, man. That inconsistency in between fights, going life and death with the Liam Wilsons and the Charlie Suarez's. It might just take a sturdy, in-shape guy with some legit pop at 130. Not a little Joet Gonzalez, not a little Oscar Valdez. Baranchek beat him. I think you're going to get a more in-shape Navarrete tonight than that guy who was pudgy at 35. I just don't know if Vaquero's been in too many wars. And he's talked about retirement before and going back to his ranchero in Mexico. So, I don't know, man. I think I'm so with you, Matt. I think that was beautifully said. He is the more dynamic talent. He is the more... special fighter. Even though Navarrete goes off balance and he hits hard as fuck. His unorthodoxness, that's not a word, has a beauty to it. But lesser fighters have been pushing him to the brink. He doesn't always keep himself in shape. But is he the poor man's Eric Morales? Will he just thug it out tonight and win anyways? I feel like vintage Navarrete beats Nunez, but I don't know. Steve, you got... all right, let's see what we get here on the scorecards, though. Hold on. The winner by split, Abel Ramos. I like the decision. I'm totally cool with it. I'm cool with it. I think the judges awarded the more consistent quality, substantial work. The work with more substance. Ramos, he looked frustrated in the early part of the fight. I think he gave away some rounds early. But I think the judge that had him ultimately winning the fight credited him even early in the fight when Smalls kept him on the end of a long jab and kept the fight in the center of the ring a majority of the time. They noticed that Ramos was making him miss a lot, and they noticed the body work. And those long arms getting off first a lot, peppering, and I don't know if you're at the wrong... If you don't have a sharp eye, if you're at a wrong angle, you might think Smalls is just getting off first with the long arms and the jab and controlling the fight. But an educated eye could see Ramos's defense was pretty sharp tonight. He didn't let Smalls hit him that often, and it takes an educated eye to appreciate some of those well-placed body shots that weren't the flashiest. I think it's a very solid call. I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't have been surprised if Smalls, as the undefeated fighter who banked some early rounds, got the nod instead, and Ramos didn't quite muster up enough late to beat the undefeated. But I think this is a good substance call. They appreciated the veterans' defense, and they appreciated he had better balance, better patience, better placement than Tamir Smalls, who was quicker on the draw, who was longer, who kept the fight in the center of the ring. I'm good with this decision 100%. So thank you, Matt. Again, brother, you are the man. Making it rain. Said Tamir talked a lot of smack. He's going to get on. Did he talk a lot of smack? I didn't even keep... I'm sure he did. But, I wasn't that impressed by Tamir Smalls. I like his father. Again, you look at that gym, which I got mad love for Bozy Ennis. A late happy 70th birthday to Bozy Ennis. A cool fucking guy who would still fuck me up at 70 years old if you watch his sparring. Got respect for them Philly Johns. But you look at, how Cruz came up short against Murataya. You look at how Tamir, who's definitely not Jaron Ennis, no disrespect there, but you look at how Tamir was a little off balance with some of his shots, and Boots does the same thing. Gets a little bit off balance if he misses, and then he punctuates off balance. It doesn't matter, Guys like, Pacquiao and other special talents. You could drop their names in the chat. Who comes to mind? I was going to say Roy. Roy. Roy would do that too. But, they're so athletic, they'll punctuate the sequence with some shot off balance to follow up the previous shot and still do their thing. And Ennis can do that and Smalls can't nearly to that level. But you look at, that's a similar flaw that Jaron Ennis has. And can a Murataya, patient, steady, more volume than Abelito Ramos threw with, but that beat a Bozy Ennis fighter today in that same gym. That steady, fundamentally sound, not getting off balance when you throw, good placement, good technical, solid, fundamental form. That ultimately took the day over the length and some of the creativity of Smalls. Does Virgil Ortiz beat Jaron Ennis? I don't know. I've always favored Jaron Ennis because he's just such a, to me, special talent. To most people, the jury's out about the steak. All the sizzles there. The hand speed, heavy-handed, snappy puncher, good size, creative as fuck, dynamic, can switch, etc. But against a well-schooled, hard-hitting, also has velocity and speed, Also an intelligent fighter who knows how to mount pressure, knows how to take a step out when he needs to. Good jab. Combinations, Virgil Ortiz. I don't know. Are these little signs that maybe the underdog in that fight, which is Ortiz, beats Ennis? You know? So anyways, CompuBox saw 88 shots landed for power shots landed for Ramos to 55 for Smalls. So CompuBox saw him as landing more power shots and being a little bit more accurate. I think that's fair. I think CompuBox was on point. I think that was good. So Matt Borgeson, thank you again, brother. Said I got Virgil beating Boots because of Bozy. I can see that, man. I like Bozy, but he's not the trainer that Robert Garcia is. You know, got to give it to Robert. From a much younger age than once Bozy got to this level. Robert's been here a long time, and I think Robert's better now than he was in the Brandon Rios days, in even the Marcos Maidano, Brandon Rios days. He was a good trainer then, but something about that guy's focus has even increased. Something about his professionalism. He clocks in with a blue-collar mentality and with a mentality to win. His fighters show up prepared, and they show up to win. And they show up, you know, with a level of professionalism. I mean, Oscar Duarte looked ready for Richardson Hitchens, man. You know, I'm very curious what would have happened if Hitchens made it to fight night. Because if Robert would have pulled that off with like a 4 or 5 to 1 underdog, it's like, yo, this dude is just straight on fire. You know what else? Speaking of fire, here's a little ad. Puchao, Japanese, made in Japan only, soda gummies. Okay? With Puchao, these motherfuckers are good. No, they did not pay me. Yes, they should. Okay? I think that even rhymed. But these soda joints, we're still gonna show mad love to Philly, even though Tamir Smalls didn't come away with the win. These soda gummy johns are mad good. But but back to my man Steve Santiago. Steve, why do you think Keith stops Fundora in the 10th? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Keith went 12 with Josecito Lopez. Respectfully. Keith wasn't icing dudes anymore at 147. You know? Fundora got better for the Mendoza fight. Little subtle improvements have paid dividends for him. Works behind his jab more. Doesn't look for the left uppercut too often like he used to. He lets it come when it's there. Before, he'd give up his range. Not behind his jab as much because he was content to beat you up on the inside. Those with a shit ton of volume and doesn't load up on any one shot. Works the body a lot, which is Keith's weakness. Defense isn't that good, but you have such a formidable task in front of you, getting past the 6'6" height and length, the constant peppering of shots. He punches hard. Not a one-punch guy, but he punches hard. Gets good leverage without loading up. Body head. Again, overwhelms you with volume. He's tough. He's mean. His dad is mean. His sister's mean. When it comes to boxing, they're mean people. They like beating people up. Keith Thurman's inactive. I think Keith Thurman's going to crack the shit out of him at some point because Fundora, with that tall, lanky frame, doesn't exactly get underneath shots, but he keeps his distance better now, so it's harder to get there. So I still think Keith is smart enough and resourceful enough that and he still have enough in his legs, I think, for a time in that fight to jump in and clock Fundora. But I don't know, man. Mendoza, strong kid who withstood a lot of punishment, I think against a less sophisticated version of Fundora. Strong dude. I mean, built muscly and shit. Very strong, very durable. And Keith's never been the most durable guy. He is older. He's coming up from 47. Mendoza was a young, strong bull physically. And again, willing to take a lot of punishment. And then a legit 154 with some fucking power in that left hook. Landed it as good as you could land a left hook. Fundora and iced him. But I think Fundora has little subtleties have improved him. He's a real champion now with, and has more confidence now. A little smarter. I got Fundora. So that's just me. Just me and most of the boxing world. But Steve, would like to hear your breakdown. What do you see from Thurman at this age with this inactivity that makes you believe he stops Fundora? So, Southpaw TV in the chat. Southpaw, can I borrow some subscribers? I talked to someone in the business recently, and Bill Haney, if you're watching, between you and Southpaw is with you and Southpaw, okay? I got respect for my man Bill, okay? This isn't, it's the first, every First Amendment. The Southpaw's opinions are Southpaw's opinions, but I appreciate the shout out in the chat, Southpaw, and man, let me get I'm glad Devin's brother lost today. See what I mean? I can't co-sign that, Southpaw. I'm good. But he fought Garcia's cousin, right? What's funny is Garcia's cousin came up to me at Garcia Barrios and told me they were going to fight. And I thought they weren't going to because they'd be 2 or 3 years apart in age, but apparently they did. Hey, man, it's just kids fighting in the amateurs. May the best kid win until they're actually legally men. And, best of luck to Sean grinding in the amateurs with Bill. And best of luck to the Garcia kid. Kids fighting in the amateurs. But, yeah, let me borrow some subscribers, Southpaw, please. Throw them over here if you can. And, thank you for the super chat, Southpaw. Ugh. Thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on Andreas Katsarokis? I don't want. Who is that? Matt Borgeson. I'm sorry. I got kids. I don't know everyone from 1 to 10 at times. That's awful of me. Let me look them up. Cool. Let me look them up for you. Timber, said Bebop Jones. You think so? Katsarokis. Andreas Katsarokis. Let me look him up. All right. From Greece. Okay. 28, 154. He beat Brandon Adams. And that's impressive. Right before Brandon beat Boachuk in a rematch. I'm going to talk to Brandon Monday with Raheem. Did he really win that fight, Matt? You don't have to send a super chat. Did he really win the fight, though? I got to watch it, Matt. I got to watch it. How about after the fight? After the fights tonight, I'll look up the highlights of the fight, tell you what I think in real time. I like the Umar Jambekov kid on the Zuffa card. I may talk a lot of shit about Zuffa, but he looked good. So, hey, you're going to hit 100K soon. I'll shout you out most definitely. Appreciate you, Southpaw. Hey, God bless you and the Haneys, brother. How about that? Let's be peacemaker here. But I did hear someone in the business recently tell me they love your channel and that it was someone, in the business. You got to forgive me, Southpaw. I don't want to inflame tensions here. Adams was fighting off the back foot on the ropes too much. The judges liked the pressure from Cat, even though it wasn't super effective. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. GWK Gwencon YouTube. I apologize if there's a right way to really say it, but Emiliano Vargas is up next. I think this kid's going to be a star, man. I've always thought that. I definitely think he'll be a world champion. The question is, when he gets there, can he compete with the elite? I think he's going to be quality. I love his hand speed. He's got skills too. Super marketable. We all saw him on the halftime show with Bad Bunny. Good kid. Mad love for his pops, who I've interviewed. I got more clips with his pops coming out soon, but I like Emiliano. I think he's actually, from a lot of the purists, a little underrated. They think he's being moved too slow, level of opposition. They question if he's just a handsome kid with a famous last name. I think he could fight. So and apparently the Ring agreed with me. So they did give him Prospect of the Year. So Fundora can't dance. He will get caught on the inside. I don't know, man. I got Fundora over Thurman. By the way, chat, what would you think, hypothetically, if your boy did something with Killer Cam, with Cameron, like on a PBC public workout? Would that look like shilling, or is that just a good opportunity for your boy? I know I got a lot of my hardcores in here. You could pull no punches with me, all right? Because by my estimation, I'm still going to tell the truth about the fight. Especially on this channel, I'm still going to be like, I think Fundora runs Thurman over probably, and Fundora and Ortiz should be fighting for the WBC instead of this fight. But hypothetically, an opportunity with Killer Cam sounds kind of fun. Cameron keeps it real. He's funny. Maria C, what's good? Matt Borges says he has the potential to be better than his pops. Ooh. His pops was really fucking good. His pops, man, like all the way pre and up to Tito Trinidad was really good. I think even great. I actually think Fernando was a great fighter, because a lot of people would see him more as a very good fighter, but I don't think. And I know Winky Wright was a lot of people. Some people even thought Winky won, but I think just the fact that it was basically 50-50, and that Winky Wright is a bona fide Hall of Famer who made the Hall of Fame, and that Vargas at his best is right here, where it's the kind of fight where could have went either way, then I think that shows the level he was at. And, Castillejo, after he beat Castillejo, he went on to ice Felix Sturm for a belt at 60. Yori Boy and Raul Marquez and Iquarte and Winky. I think he was great, man. I don't know. Emiliano, I love his hand speed. My question for Emiliano, look, Fernando, 90% of this game is mental, right? And I think Emiliano's a tough kid. But we got to see how psychologically tough, because Fernando was a guy who grew up with nothing, who grew up with a lot of childhood trauma, and that spurred him on in the ring to have a lot of warrior spirit. With Emiliano, who's the apple of his mom's eye, the apple of his dad's eye, big brothers that love him, a dad that kind of nurturing, that it's okay, mijo, if you lose, we still love you. I'm just having fun. I'm just playing a little armchair psychologist. Does that, when you grow up like that, as opposed to with all that trauma, and are you spurned on the same when the going gets tough? Because you couldn't question Fernando, who may have lost to some of the best of his generation, but was gonna let the balls hang all the way. Will Emiliano have that same level of dog in him at the championship level, or will there be fighters like a Shakur Stevenson with a technical advantage that make him keep his hands in his pocket? Keyshawn Davis, who will have him weary of the length and the power, guys like that. Because I think if he can pass those psychological hurdles, he has the physical talent and the growing skill set to really be that kind of guy, to really be elite. But I have no question he will be a world champion. I think he will definitely be quality. I think he'll definitely be a world champion. But elite, I think he's going to have to answer some psychological hurdles against the best fighters in the world when he gets there. I think that tier right below, he will definitely get there. But we will only find out about that elite level when, those bridges are time to cross some of those bridges. So Emiliano in the ring now. Pops brought in the American flag. Brother Amato with the Mexican flag. I always think that's a cool touch. Represent both of them. And, Emiliano in the ring now. And let's see what he gets, man, against Augustin Ezequiel Kintana. Let's see. And this dude upset Mark Castro, who was 13-0, a.k.a. Elon Musk. Thank you, C. Miller. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Said spurn. That was a great word, Sean Zizzle. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, as man, Fernando was fighting those demons he grew up with. The dad and stepdad issues, and growing up in the hood and Oxnard and being a troubled youth and all that. And that's not Emiliano, man. Emiliano, now, who grew up like that a little bit was Kobe Bryant. Like, Kobe Bryant grew up, Phil Jackson wrote about it, the apple of his mom and dad's eye. They're special, precious, God's gift to earth kind of child, and always raised him that he was special, he was this, he was that, and worked out pretty good for Kobe Bryant. And his dad was a professional in Joe Jellybean Bryant. Maybe that'll be the dynamic for Emiliano and his dad Fernando. But boxing is a different beast than basketball, so we'll see. I would like to see Emiliano have a lot of success, and all these guys at some point, when they have a lot of success and they're talented and they're marketable, they hit that crossroads of, can you remain humble, and in some sense is disregarding being humble beneficial to you, and feeling like you're the shit and nobody can mess with you is part of the sacrifice of being the best, having to relinquish some of that humility, and sometimes that humility to some of us is what makes you kind of likable to go with the talent. But a lot of guys, that fades from their temperament in the drive to be the best. And I think that's an under talked about interesting aspect of becoming a star in sports, that media doesn't want to talk about because they don't want to sound like they're calling a guy an asshole, and that said athletes aren't going to really want to embrace because they don't want to acknowledge that maybe that comes off a bit like being an asshole. So anyway, referee checking each guy's belt, and here we go. We're going to have some action. Pause. They got me saying pause now. I thought it was juvenile and stupid, but they got me. So here we go. Didn't Fernando spit on Thompson? Fernando did some classless things in his career as a young, disgruntled guy from Oxnard, but he's matured quite a bit since then. Good for him. All right, round one. And here comes Emiliano. Nice, sharp, quick jab to the body off a touch up top. The kid has got fast hands, man. Makes Kintana a little bit off balance with a 2-3. Resets in the center of the ring. Nice, sharp jab to the body by Emiliano Vargas. Ooh, good, sharp pull right hand counter over the top of Quintana's jab. And Chad, anybody watching at home, the kid's hand speed, to me, is phenomenal. I think it's by far one of his best attributes. You can't teach speed. Speed kills, and I think Emiliano has it in spades. So 40 seconds into the fight, Vargas, nice little half steps to his left, bouncing around a little bit, makes Kintana fall short with the jab. Back is near the ropes. Nice power jab by Vargas, almost squared his feet up and shot that jab with some power. Now he goes back to his normal base, misses a double jab straight right hand, plants his feet a little bit in the center of the ring, being a little bit busy with his guard, keeping his elbows in, hands up, drops that lead hand a little bit, slips a jab or makes a jab breeze off his left shoulder. Double jab to the body by Emiliano. He is setting something up in between Quintana's shots. Could be a right hand over the top of the jab, trying to bait that jab out. He has a good pull counter right hand, does Vargas. And a little shift off to his left, slips and comes back with his jab. Gets underneath two jabs, steps over to his left. Vargas, much more talented than Kintana. You want to see him look impressive, though. And first minute 40, taking his time. Nice jab. Quick two punches to the body by Vargas off the jab. Vargas using those reflexes, slipping shots. Slips to the left and comes up with a left uppercut. Almost a left uppercut jab / left uppercut. Kintana not getting nailed too clean in the first 2 minutes, though. Minute left in the opener. Vargas twitchy with some of his upper body reflexes. Nice jab by Vargas. Good sense of distance. Stayed in position. Kintana tried to fire something and got knocked off balance with a jab. Short left hook. Grazes around the neck of Vargas, though, as he tries to step in there. Vargas parrying a jab. Keeping his gloves up. Vargas stepping over to his left, lands that second jab, stepping over his left. Lead right hand misses, but he shoots a left hook to the right to the solar plexus behind it. Good shot by Vargas. 20 seconds left in the opening round. Vargas, nice jab to the body, but Kintana keeps that lead hand low, catches it on the glove. Vargas, lead left hook, straight right hand, misses both, cleans up with 2 left hooks. Back comes Kintana with a right hand over the top. Neither fighter that clean in the first round. Kintana lets go of some shots. Solid defense by Vargas, backing up into the ropes, makes a miss with some head movement, and that does it for round 1. Vargas taking his time, trying to download some data, and what Vargas is going to have to do is, and again, this is what a Lomachenko did in the first couple rounds, other fighters, that popular phrase, downloading data, but Vargas is going to have to do a little bit more honest work as he climbs in levels. And what I mean by honest work is a little bit more just work behind the jab. Things like mostly working behind the jab and being busier with that to set up counters and to get off first. Do both, whether it's setting up a counter or whether it's getting work off first. Because right now, he likes to take advantage of his quick twitch muscles and shoot some quick flashy pull counter or slip counter. And some of these more experienced fighters aren't going to fall into those traps as easy if you don't set them up. If you don't set them up with more of the honest work. But quick hands. So Vargas starting with that jab to the body in round 2 off a touch jab up top. Gets underneath the left hook. Steps over to his left. Back is near the ropes. And see right there, Vargas doesn't need to go to the corner of the ropes. Good head movement makes Kintana miss everything. But he can control the center more by jabbing more. There it is, a little jab to the chest. Stay more consistent with it. You know, little turns off of it. But Kintana trying to shoot a right hand over that jab. Matt Borgeson with the super chat says Vargas falls asleep sometimes with no head movement. Or he lets you get off first and tries to slip it. You know, he's got to change head slots in between punches. Good right hand by Kintana. Good counter right hand. Vargas, again, not being consistent with his work. Got in a good right hand of the body. Got in a good sequence, but ate a right hand too. Waiting on Kintana too much. There's that jab to the body by Vargas. And even if it's not going to be leading with a jab, you feel like the guy's looking for a right hand over the top of it. Lead with a, you know, set up some more. Easier said than done from where I'm sitting. But, you know, get some work done. Be a little more consistent here. Kintana making Vargas not control the center of the ring. Good left hook to the body by Kintana. Making Vargas go to the ropes. Throwing 2 decoy shots to land a left hook to the body. Vargas being very patient. Good jab by Kintana. 2 good jabs. 1-2 by Kintana. Vargas steps out of range and parries a little bit. Now Vargas comes forward. Straight right hand of the body by Vargas. Work, Vargas, work. There it is. Left hook to the body off a right hand. Back on your jab. They trade jabs. Touch right hand by Vargas. He stalks a little bit. Nice jab by Vargas. Lifts that head up. Hey, we good on the live? All right. What happened with my? All right, good. I thought I lost some of my internet there for a minute. Good right hand of the body by Vargas, freezing him with the speed. Nice knifing little left uppercut jab to the body by Vargas with 50 seconds left in the second. Nice jab to the body again. Jab up top. Kintana back on the front foot. And yeah, Vargas just not consistent enough with his jab right here. And that's letting Kintana at times control the ring. Letting Kintana land some, touch him here and there. If not clean, touch the body. Nice jab to the body by Vargas. Double jab up top. Sweeps the right hand right around that kidney. And Kintana smothers him into a clinch after turning southpaw for just a second there. Let me get back to this. Good jab by Kintana. Jab to the body by Kintana. Not an impressive round by Emiliano. A little bit too much waiting. And Matt Borgeson with the super chat says he overstays his welcome a bit, Vargas. And I think I know what you mean. He stays there. Like Matt said, too, he falls asleep sometimes. I agree. I agree. But that hand speed is impressive, and he's sharp. There's little subtle things, you know. Carrington, we'll talk about it tomorrow on Sean's with Bruce, but just something about his work, his looks has to be a little bit more consistent. I think this kid likes to eat off of flashy pull counters and flashy spurts and bursts, and he's got to do little more subtle professional things. 3 minutes of every round. It could be changing the head slot off the jab. It could be knowing your distance and your positioning for when you can get that 3 or 4 punch spurt off. A lot of it has to do with the jab. Little things like that, you know. In round 3 here, Kintana was held his own well in that round. Vargas off the mark with a right hand over the top off the jab, places a little left hook to the body with Kintana trying to transition out of that sequence. Ref says keep it up. And, you know, he's fighting pros now. Guys with 22 wins, guys that upset a 13-0 prospect in Mark Castro. Mannix has it 1 round apiece. I think that's a solid scorecard. And Vargas is learning in there now. This is good matchmaking, as someone said in the chat. Nice right hand to the body by Vargas. Takes a step back, makes Kintana fall short. Stepping over to his right. Nice left hook to the body by Vargas. And that's what he likes to eat off of. Quick little slip and explosive, quick twitch counter type shots. And but you can't eat off those all night, you know. But look at Bruce Carrington, 28 years old. Bruce against Matias Hayda, against Suleiman Sagawa. Good right hand to the body by Vargas off the jab. He would have times where he relied on, good right hand over the top and a power jab finish by Vargas. This is better work by Vargas now. Good left hook to the body. Good sweeping right hand, left hook to the body. Nice jab, trades jab. Good timing on the jab. Jabbing with Kintana there. Now his back touches the ropes. Gets underneath the left hook. Pulls away from a straight right hand. Back is still near the ropes. Gets underneath the left hook. That time the right hand does touch him trying to exit out. And again, that's where he's on the ropes. And with his jab, with a tie-up, with little subtleties, he could get back in the center of the ring instead of having to exit straight out and get touched by a right hand on his way out. Minute 20 left in the round. Better round for Vargas, though. There's little setups and little nuances that can allow him to get his shit off a little bit more consistently. He's got the speed and the talent to do it. That's where the technical skill and the IQ come into play. Nice jab to the body by Kintana. Straight right hand to the body by Kintana. Back comes Vargas. Overshoots his right hand off the jab. Misses a jab. Kintana posts and pushes off of him back into the center of the ring out of that close range. Vargas gets underneath the jab. Shoots his jab. Nice right hand to the body by Vargas. Well placed off a touch jab up top. Kintana lands a left hook in the exchange, but Vargas comes back with a left hook to the body. Sweeping right hand to the body. Getting off 2 or 3 to 1 with the hand speed. Jackhammer right hand over the top. Kintana slips away from it. Vargas lands his jab. I don't think Kintana likes it when Vargas fights with a purpose like that. Now, decent job cutting off the ring by Vargas. Lands a left hook. Punches with Kintana. And I think that got Quintana's attention. Kintana ties up. Vargas getting some respect there. Vargas staying on top of Kintana. Nice right hand to the body again off the jab. Vargas should take it to Kintana a little bit. I don't think Kintana likes it when the kid comes forward with a purpose. Nice slip jab by Vargas. Gets underneath a nice right hand. And that'll do a good round by Vargas. Showed better work that round than the round previous. Good stuff. Better stuff. So, what's up, Mr. Quake? Good to see you, brother. Navarrete working in the dressing room. I don't know. I don't know what I'm seeing from Navarrete. I don't know if he's a little flat or if he's ready to go. I won't know until he gets in there. Throwing some uppercut. Okay. Working some uppercuts in the dressing room. Okay. Got the resistance band. Shifting his body a little bit. Something about it feels a little flat-ish, but also good. We got to see. He's ready to work his uppercuts. Nunez is a basic fighter compared to the unorthodox, the more dynamic style of Navarrete. But what's this guy got left, man? Too many inconsistent camps. Too many wars. So, we shall see. What's up, Lance Meyer? Good to see you, brother. Family is good, Mr. Quake. They just got home from my daughter's second birthday. All right, Quintana with a jab to the body to get his fourth round started. What's Vargas looking for here? Out of the high guard, bending down, staying in the center of the ring. Double jab to the body by Vargas. Takes a step out of range, makes Kintana fall short. Good left hook to the body by Vargas, countering in between shot. Good right hand to the body by Vargas. Kintana didn't like that. Switches southpaw. Throws some get off me punches. Stay to the body if you're Vargas. Good left hook to the body off the right hand of the body. I would like Vargas, stay on him. Stay on him and get to that body again. Straight right hand for Vargas. Kintana ties up. I don't think Kintana liked it. He didn't like some of that body work, chat. Vargas got good placement to the body in spots. Double jab, sets up a right hand of the body. Now those elbows are staying tucked in for Kintana. Kintana back near the ropes. Double jab by Vargas. That's being more consistent. Straight right hand of the body by Vargas. He catches what's coming back. Eats a jab, but stays on his front foot. Little touch shots to the body. Straight right hand of the body. 2 body shots by Vargas. Gets underneath the sweeping right hand. Staying on top. Being more consistent now. Nice jab by Vargas. Right hand with his head bent down a little bit. Touches him, but back to the body goes Vargas. Another left hook to the body by Vargas. Straight right hand touches him up top, but these shots aren't too significant by Kintana. And Vargas is now applying that pressure the way he should. Staying to the body the way he should. This is solid work from Vargas. Vargas touch shots up top with little Lomachenkian setup to the body there. Touch, 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 boom. And then finish with a hard one to the body. I like that work by Vargas. Vargas rolling some shots. Drops his lead hand now. Getting comfortable. Now he takes a step out. Catches his breath. Like to see him reset that pressure after he catches his breath here. Nice jab by Vargas. Steps over to his left. Double jab. Steps over to his left. Back near the ropes. Back touches the ropes. Vargas says the shot got low. 45 seconds left. Vargas in the high guard. Catches a jab. Gets underneath the 1-2. Nice counter left hook by Vargas. Let Kintana take a step in with his back near the ropes and caught him with a left hook in between. Sharp straight right hand to the body by Vargas off a touch jab. Now he picks his gloves up. Good head movement by Vargas. Holds his ground in the center. Taking steps forward now. Ready to get back on the lead foot. Double jab makes Kintana back out. 12 seconds left in the round. Vargas figuring out the puzzle in there a little bit. Walks through a couple of jabs. And that'll do it for the 4th round. I like the body work by Emiliano. I like it when he comes forward and applies a little bit more of that pressure. Had to take a breather there. About a minute left in the round. And I think he's found something to the body. And I think he's found something touching up top and then hitting the body here and there. So thank you, Maria C. Said, happy birthday, Missy. Let's see if we can get birthday girl to say hi on the stream. People say I have my kids on the stream too much, but I'm too proud of how beautiful they are. Sometimes I can't. I like to show them off. Let me ask Mom if birthday girl can say hi. Let me see. And it's only my loyalists in here. We only got 140 people in here. It ain't too crazy in here. So, yeah, I like the body work by Vargas. There was 1 or 2, 3 sequences that were a little Lomachenko-y in. A little Lomachenkin. With the bang! And planting that shit to the body. Good left hook to the body by Kintana in the slow-mo, too, though. Kintana got some work done that round. We're being maybe a little too fanboyish for Vargas there. We know he's gonna win, and so we're more just observing what he's doing right or wrong. We know what this kind of opponent and fight is for Vargas. It's a development fight. Good sharp jab by Vargas, moving near the ropes now. And Mannix has a 3-1 for Vargas. I'd have the same. Kintana getting him near the ropes. Hard right hand, left hook. Vargas slipping along the ropes. Good left hook to the body by Kintana. 2 left hooks to the body in that sequence. Vargas laying against the ropes, not controlling the center of the ring. And Vargas has got to be... Oh, good left hook to the body again by Kintana. With Vargas going to the ropes too much, I don't think he likes some of those left hooks to the body. Vargas not controlling the center there. Okay, when you don't want to apply your pressure, and now 2 body shots get Kintana a warning. Vargas, though, complaining about... Those look more borderline to me. They weren't egregiously low. And that's what I mean. The kid's going to have to show that toughness when a guy gets rough with him. Kintana is conceding they were low. seemingly, you know, apologizing for that. But Vargas is like, hey, what the fuck? And it's like, hey, kids, some guys are going to hit you low sometimes. You know, and the ref is going to miss some of those calls too. There's going to have to be times you endure those shots and keep working. Let's see the replay here. Against the ropes. Oh, it was pretty low. Pretty low. Got him definitely below the belt line. Yeah, it was low. It's low. It hit him. It hit him in that area. Yeah, it hit him in that area. But the thing for Vargas, when he decides to not be on the front foot, he wants to take his walk. He's not controlling him with that walk. He's not good left hook to the body again by Kintana. Vargas, again, by laying on the ropes a lot this round, has taken a lot of left hooks to the body. Now it's like, okay, my turn, and I'm going to get back and stay on the inside and look for the body. Beautiful quick combination on the inside by Vargas. Sweeping right hand of the body, right uppercut, body shot. But that's spurts of good work. And you got to learn as a top pro to control the 3 minutes of the round. Oh, good left uppercut off a 1-2 in close by Vargas. When Vargas lets his hands go, the hand speed is kind of special. And he finds some beautiful shots, but it's not consistent at this point in his career. Minute left in the fifth. That was a beautiful left uppercut, though, off a three-punch combination by Vargas. But Quintana's gotten in some good left hooks to the body this round. I look forward to talking to Shushu tomorrow about what game he could give Vargas on the show to control these rounds for 3 minutes when he wants to take his walk. Good two-piece to the body by Vargas a moment ago on the inside. 30 seconds left in this round. Good left hook by Vargas with his back on the ropes, punching with Quintana and in between the shots, lifted his chin up. Nice sweeping right hand to the body by Vargas. Quintana with a short, straight right hand. Quintana lands his jab. Vargas comes forward in the center of the ring. Double jab, straight right hand by Vargas, blocked by Quintana. And I'll give that round to Vargas. You know, Quintana was on his way to winning it off 3 or 4 hard left hooks to the body with Vargas staying on the ropes too much. But then Vargas came back with some really quick combos in the center of the ring. Keep closing the distance a little bit. So I gave that round to Vargas, but there's little things, a Crawford, a Stevenson, even a Benavidez on the front foot, because Benavidez is on the front foot majority of the time. Those guys will circle you, keep their distance at the end. But there's little things, feints, changing head slots, probes, feints, probes, changing head slots. Boom, the well-timed jab here and there. Even when they're not pelting you and throwing with volume, they can control that center and they can control the fight when they take a walk, so to speak. And Vargas isn't doing that when he takes his walk. He's winding up on the ropes. He's letting Quintana have spots to do that. He's not being effective all the time with his jab. And then the effective work comes when he says, all right, time to stop fucking around. I'm going to pick these gloves up a little bit, and I'm going to close the gap, and I'm going to touch your body, and I'm going to rip a combo here and there. That's when, you know, he's the clearly better talent and fighter than Quintana. But in those lulls, he's not controlling Quintana. A fighter of the caliber of his talent should be able to if he keeps growing as a pro. So, yeah, 30 seconds into the 6th round, sharp body work by Vargas. Sweeping right hand of the body, closing the gap, switching southpaw. Goes back orthodox, pushes him against the ropes, left hook to the body, right uppercut to the body, sweeping right hand to the body, left hook to the body, back comes Quintana to the body. Good body work by Quintana. Quintana fencing off with an up jab with his back on the ropes. Good up jabs by Quintana. Hard left hook by Quintana. Catching Vargas sleeping, staying in front of him. 2 hard body shots by Vargas in the center of the ring. But Quintana taking that power well. Now a good jab by Vargas. And how long, what you'd like to see Vargas do then, if he's going to stay to that body and stay in front of him, is stay there the whole round a little bit. I mean, move your head, take an angle, but stay consistent. Apply it for 3 minutes then if you're not going to control him on your walk when you take your step out. Good right uppercut on the inside by Quintana. Quintana landed some good shots. Hard left hook to the body by Quintana. But stay in there if you're Vargas. This is good experience, good heat in the kitchen for down the road. Halfway through the 6th. Good jab to the body by Quintana. Vargas takes a step out, but he's staying in front. Left hook, straight right hand. Left hook by Kintana. Vargas with solid defense, making him fall short, making him miss with some of those defensive maneuvers. Lead left hook lands for Vargas. Straight right hand to the body. Now Kintana has to take a breath along the ropes. Vargas targeting the midsection with straight right hands and jabs. Makes him miss off the ropes. Resets his pressure. Good left hook by Vargas, punching and taking a step out of range and making him fall short with his hook and hitting him with his own. But then Kintana lands a hook. Kintana still against the ropes. Vargas staying more consistent with the pressure a little bit this round. Jab to the stomach by Vargas, sweeping right hand. Kintana gets back to the center of the ring, steps to his left. Lead left hook for Vargas, straight right hand behind it. Kintana feeling this pace this round by Vargas, and that's where the consistency... Oh, two hard right hands to the body by Vargas. Kintana feels the need to fire back. Gets back to Vargas' body, but Vargas is staying on top of him this round with 20 seconds left. And I think some of that pace, that body work is bothering Kintana this round. Vargas has to have the educated know-how to know it and to stay with it. Sweeping right hand to the body by Vargas. Jab up top. 1-2. Oh, good left hook by Kintana as Vargas stayed up top too long and kept his head on the line. Good round by Vargas. I got it 5-1. 59-55 Vargas, but Kintana is making this competitive throughout. He is landing some good shots on Vargas. No mistake about that. So, strikers only. Thank you, brother. Says thanks for the commentary. Bebop Jones said feint more. Fake him out. Off timing more. Let him reset. Corner him. He's cut. Open that cut. Yeah. That was a good step back left hook from Vargas. What do we think, though, chat? Right? Solid analysis of what young Vargas needs to work on here and there. Correct? Think so. I think we're giving him good advice. Matt Borgeson said Vargas going to get hurt. Not in this fight, I think, Matt. Not in this fight. Keeps getting hit with bombs, says Matt. He's getting hit sometimes. I don't like it, says Matt. All right, yeah, he's getting touched. I don't think this is the guy to do it, though. I don't think he gets hurt in this fight. We'll see, though, Matt. I got to give you mad props if that happens. Not out of the question. Oh, Chris Mannix got this even. I think that's being... I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in the underdog holding his own. I still think Vargas is winning the fight. Good body work by Vargas, but Kintana is touching him. Chopping right hand by Vargas. Kintana says, come on. Kintana near the ropes. Damn, Mannix got it even. I think that's a bit much. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm dick riding. So, good left hooks to the body by Kintana. Some sharp right hands up top before it. Back comes Vargas to the body. 3-4 punch combination to the body. 2 jabs, though, by Kintana. The up jab with his back near the ropes. Left hook, right hand by Vargas. And Kintana, to Matt Borgeson's point, is sitting down on these punches more. He is trying to catch him with something serious in between now, with Vargas going to sleep in front of him. I do see Kintana sitting down on some of these shots more and not as bothered by the body work by Vargas. Kintana touching him with that jab from the hip. Jabs to the body. Vargas applying pressure but getting touched coming in. Little short right hand. Vargas relying on his reflexes to roll shots. 2 body shots inside by Kintana and a sharp little right hand. Kintana with the right hand up and a little bit of a shoulder roll look. And he is touching Vargas coming forward this round. Vargas catching him with a left hook, pulling out up top, but back comes Kintana. Kintana figuring out the angles of Vargas' attack better this round. Vargas switches southpaw, slips a few shots. Vargas not as accurate with the placement to the body right now. Kintana, oh, good right hand by Kintana with Vargas coming forward. Kintana being a little bit more sophisticated with his look this round. He's off the shoulder roll look. Vargas is, coming more with the high guard, and Kintana a little bit more crafty with his look right now, stance-wise, and throwing the up jab, countering a little bit. leaving those elbows down. Now a nice right hand sweeps around the elbow for Vargas. And then working out of the clinch with some craft is Kintana. So I thought that was a Kintana round, but unlike Chris Mannix, who may have Kintana up 4-3 now, I don't see it that way. I see it 5-2 Vargas. I could see 4-3 Vargas too, but I still got Vargas ahead, but I gave Kintana that round. So don't want to get caught up in the kid not looking great and giving rounds to the underdog when I still think Vargas was winning a majority of those rounds. But I did think that was definitely a Kintana round. And, you know, worrisome for Vargas was Kintana beginning to work that up jab against the ropes, beginning to get comfortable and seeing everything coming and starting to make Vargas look like the more basic fighter just coming through the front door. And maybe it's partly because he sees this kid isn't that sophisticated when he takes his walk, when he goes on the back foot. His best work is going to come when he comes to me. So that makes him maybe a little more predictable. But this is, you know, again, good experience for Vargas because it's time to thug it out a little bit in these last 3 rounds. Put together some more combinations. Fight with this guy. Punch with him. But Kintana is being was a little slicker that round. Changed up his look. A little bit of shoulder roll to him. A little bit of that. So here we go. 8th round. I still got Vargas ahead, but DAZN may not. So 10 seconds into it, Vargas back to applying pressure. Body shots haven't been as effective the last round or so. Gets Kintana on the rope. Short right hand. There's the combination up top by Vargas, knocking some of the sweat off of Quintana's head with a left and a right. Straight right hand and a left hook, left uppercut kind of shot. Guard right hand to the body by Kintana. Left hook to the body too as Vargas was targeting up top. Subtle body shots by Kintana there. Kintana switches southpaw, wings the left hand, misses it. Vargas resets his pressure. Good jab. Good uppercut jab. 2 body shots by Vargas. Swimming without getting wet a little bit there. Quintana a little cute on the inside with the defense though, but good combinations are landing for Vargas now, busting him up. He eats a left hook but stays on top, takes a dip down and shoots a hard kind of left hook, half power jab. Some unique shots and trajectories by Vargas, and he's getting good work done after that first minute. Hard right hand lands for Quintana with Vargas on the front foot. Punctuates with a left hook to the body, ties Vargas up. Vargas back on him. Left hook lands for Vargas. Hard left hook to the body by Quintana, but Vargas is on top of him, trying to break his will now, showing some grit. Vargas squares his feet up, fights for a second at southpaw. Down goes Quintana out of the clinch. Blood coming from Quintana's atop his left eye. He's got a little cut now with blood coming out of it. Quintana loading up on a right-hand counter. Vargas dipped his chin off the line to smother it. Vargas in the southpaw stance. Now he switches back. Quintana goes southpaw, breaks his base, stepping over to his left. And Vargas having a good round this round, even though Quintana's got some good work done too. But Vargas showing some will. Lead right hand lands for Vargas. Touches with a left hook, misses a left hook to the body. Quintana a little more tired than Vargas now, showing more signs of fatigue. Hard left hook to the body by Quintana, but Vargas staying in the kitchen. Right uppercut, left hook by Vargas, getting off with some sharp combination. Nice right hand and sets up a left hook, and another right hand into a sequence of combinations by Vargas. And that's good work. Quintana says, come on. But now Vargas smiles at him like, nah, I gotcha. You're tired. And now I'm getting my best work done. Good left hook by Vargas, punching with Quintana, ripping those combinations like we asked at the beginning of the round. You can see Mama Vargas saying, come on, mijo. That's what you got to do. Quintana getting a little weary in there, body language-wise. Can Vargas sustain it? Vargas gets him to the ropes. Eats a right uppercut, left hook, but smothers it a little bit. But eats those shots. Turns his chin with it. Good round by Vargas. Good grit. Good bite down on that gum shield this round. Switches southpaw. Shoots a straight left hand. A jab, straight left hand. Stays southpaw. Keeps applying the front foot. And a good little combo at the end. I like that work by Vargas that round. Good grit. Good bite down that round. I got him ahead 6-2 or 5-3. DAZN may have this even. I think my man Chris Mannix, who again has gotten a lot better, as has that 3-man team. I didn't think they were the best for a few years, but they have gotten better. Respect Chris. I got Vargas ahead. You know, you look at Quintana's got a cut over his left eye. He's swelling up under his right eye. Nose busted up a little bit with some blood coming from it. I think Vargas has been the better fighter. But Kintana has done enough, particularly in certain spots, to not make him look too good. But I like that from Vargas. We asked before that round, let's be more consistent than if we're going to stay in the kitchen. Let's rip some combinations, and he did. So there's times that speed, like a David Benavidez when he applies pressure, where that speed can overwhelm a little bit. And Vargas did that in the slow-mo here with a 6-7 punch combination. Kintana only able to get off one. Vargas going to get a breather here. The doctor is going to check Kintana. It doesn't look like nothing too serious, but he is getting busted up a little bit now. He took some punishment in the 8th. Doctor looking at him. Swelling under the right eye, small cut above the right eye, right at the end of that right eyebrow, and a cut above the left eyebrow. So Vargas has made an impression on his flesh, in his face. So here we go. Reset the fight. Center of the ring. Vargas starting with his jab there. Let's see if Vargas mounts his attack again. Double jab. Kintana measuring with his jab, shoots a right hand. They trade left hooks to the body. Vargas got the better of it. Short right uppercut off the left hook inside for Vargas. Right uppercut lands for Kintana. Vargas misses a 3-punch combo. Good left hook to the body by Kintana. Vargas trying to smother him along the ropes. And the referee is going to cause a halt. Vargas may have led with his head there. And he gives Kintana the benefit of the doubt. Gives a quick warning to Vargas. Don't come in with your head like that. They resume the action. Good left hook to the body by Vargas off the slip. Good left hook to the body by Kintana. Vargas staying in the kitchen, though. Good jab to the body by Kintana. Vargas trying to slip underneath and get with a left hook. 3-punch combo by Vargas, using the speed to get off there. Back on the up jab is Kintana. Kintana getting driven back, though, to the ropes. Pushes off. Creates a little separation there. Steps over to his left. Switches southpaw. Misses the left hand off balance. Vargas being steady with some pressure here. Making Kintana touch the back with the ropes. Now Chris Mannix has it 6-2. Oh, you had it even after. You had it even. What is this? Now he's got my scorecard. Chris Mannix listening to the call. What do you have it, Chad? He had it. Didn't he? Didn't he have it? Didn't he have it 3-3? Didn't he have it something like that, Chad? Now he's got it 4-. Now he's got it 6-2, like I do. I told you. Nice right hand by Vargas off a left hook, right hand. Left hook, right hand in close. Switches southpaw. A little bit of, we're not trying to be blasphemous here. A little bit of David Benavidez from Vargas here. Square your feet up at times. Switch southpaw for a moment. Apply pressure. Have some reflexes. And overwhelm the man with speed. Good left hooks to the body by Vargas. Left hook up top. Kintana, a cutie. Rolls the shot a little bit. Kintana, hard straight right hand to the body by Vargas. Vargas punching in combination, and that's what's finding the openings on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th shots for him. Using that speed to good use. And he's taking a lot of the sap out of Kintana, whose face is busting up. Now this is where that dog comes in. Bite down. Keep throwing combinations. Stay on him. Good jab by Vargas. Power jab. Short left hook. Kintana is weary in there. 30 seconds left in the round. Vargas staying on top of him. Vargas is comfortable in there now. Much more comfortable than he was a few rounds ago. Beating Kintana up. But can he be effective with the placement and the combinations and try to get this guy out of here? It doesn't look likely. Kintana has only 3 more minutes to go after this round, and it does look like he'll make the finish line. But Vargas did bust him up down the stretch of this fight. And showed some good grit. Showed some dog. And that'll do it. That'll do it for the 9th. Bebop Jones saying 3-7 combos. Vamos, cabrón. Yep. Kintana looks bad right now. Yeah, but the reason why your pressure has got to be consistent all 10 in your volume by Vargas all 10 is, I think, once you give a savvy pro, this is what's impressive about Keyshawn stopping Ortiz a month ago in the 12th. Once you give a savvy pro that light at the end of the tunnel, and that's it. No, that's it. The referee's going to stop it. Quintana's pissed. He doesn't like the stoppage. But you gave the kid Kintana very mad. I do think Kintana could have made those last 3 minutes, but the kid gets the stoppage. Kintana is pissed. He is furious. Referee came in and stopped it. Didn't like all the swelling and the cuts, but fighters have been sent out with much worse when they were much worse for wear than Kintana. Vargas gets the stoppage. Credit to him. I was just about to say, in order for you to really get the stoppage, you gotta be consistent earlier in the fight with that volume and pressure. But it turns out he did enough late to get the stoppage. Kintana was pissed. I think Kintana could have fought another 3 rounds. It would have been punishment for him, but he could have possibly got... I was going to say, when you let a veteran see a light at the end of the tunnel with only 1 or 2 rounds left, it's hard to get them out of there. But he got him out of there on the record. That's it. Hey, not Vargas's problem that the referee erred on the side of caution. And I like the bite down from Vargas down the stretch of that fight. I like his talent. I love his hand speed. He's got a lot of growing. There's a lot of growing to do before you get there. But I think, Top Rank and his pops got to keep matchmaking. They got to be smart with the matchmaking. And I don't mean it in a sense of, just protect him. What I mean is you got to keep raising the level little by little. And, he might at some point put him in with a good, savvy pressure fighter who's going to have to make his walk, his back foot a little more educated. I think he grew tonight when it comes to applying pressure and putting his combinations together. I think he grew tonight. I think you saw him grow a little bit in those late rounds leading up to the stoppage. I do. But I think, next step, you got to get a guy of Quintana's ilk with instead of being a cutie, being more of a pressure guy who's going to force him to be more educated with his jab and on his back foot. And then you do the Top Rank at its best. You put him in with this guy, you raise the level a little bit here, tune him up in this area, raise the level there, and you keep growing him, and you don't rush it. There's no rush with this kid, He wasn't an Olympian. He's a really good talent who's really marketable. You don't rush it, but you don't give him baby food either. You got to grow him into a real fucking man in there for the professional, for the championship, and hopefully, optimistically, the elite level. So, you move him smart. You move him with purpose, fight to fight. So Strikers only said he's like a mini Benavidez. Little flashes of Benavidez in those last couple rounds. Little flashes. Use those quick twitches on defense on the front foot. Overwhelm at times with speed when you let multiple punches go in combination. Body work, little Benavidez type flashes for Emiliano. But a long way to go before he's a Mexican monster, But he's good, man. And I got a soft spot for Ferro's and his family, but we keep it real. Z Raymond said Vargas gets some good work in, has some things to work on, but good for him. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. No one's saying, he's about to beat Abdullah Mason. He's about to school. Like no one's going crazy here. No one's saying that. But the kid is talented and marketable. Not a huge puncher. Not the puncher that Mason is. Doesn't get the kind of crackling leverage on some of those shots that Abdullah gets. Not the master of distance that Shakur showed early, but fast hands. Creative combination puncher, good combination puncher. Needs to also, get that pace, get that conditioning even better to where he feels comfortable and trusts his conditioning to work his 3 minutes of a round that much more consistently so that he can take advantage of his attributes in combination punching. You got to be able to trust that conditioning to really hold up over 10, 12 rounds so that you could take advantage of the combinations. But little things, I think, tonight went a little bit of a way of him trusting his chin more. He took some shots. He rolls a lot of shots too. He relies on those little Mexican rolls, where you don't cleanly slip the punch, but at the last second you do that or you do this, and You know, Barrera was good at that, and he does do that. He does make the shot slide off a little bit. And that's why I think his face is clean, too. You know, I don't think he's got the kind of tissue that if he was getting touched all night, that you wouldn't see it show up. I think it would show up. But apparently, he was making those shots slide off a little bit better than it may have even seemed to the naked eye at times because the face is clean. He has no marks whatsoever. And look at the other guy's face. So he shows some technical qualities. I like the earlier in the fight, a couple of those Lomachenko kind of things. And again, like Benavidez at times squaring up, but squaring up with a purpose. Small moments as a southpaw just to get closer to the guy. Got to keep working on cutting off the ring. In spots, he did cut it off decently. And then in other spots, he followed him. Just, you know, a work in progress. But I like the kid. What can I say? So, Titus. What's up, Titus? Good to see you, my brother. Thank you for coming in. Navarrete fight start yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Can I have those Japanese candies? I want more of Puchao, the soda candy from made in Japan. I need an advertisement, chat. They won't give it to me. Millennium Film says Emiliano said, "Damn, I'll be damned if I lose this fight." I don't think he was on his way to losing. I really don't. Mr. Savvy said, "Fire commentary moments." Thank you, brother. They robbed Kintana of a final round. I think that's fair. I think he was more than willing to endure the punishment of the next 180 seconds and hold his head high and making it the distance with this kid. I agree. It was a little bit of a gift stoppage. But to be fair to Emiliano, he made the ref have to give him a benefit of the doubt. He busted him up for 2 straight rounds and tenderized his flesh up top. And the ref, you know, erring more on the side of caution, erring more on the side of giving Emiliano the benefit of the doubt for a last round stoppage, gave it to him. But at least Vargas pushed it there, you know, to a solid degree. It was good to see Fernando consoling Kintana. He knows how the game goes. Fernando's a good dude now, man. Fernando won, bro. You know, he was a little bit of a knucklehead cholo. You know, kind of could even be classless sometimes. And he was like, "Damn, Shags, why you insulting me, Vato?" But I gotta keep it real on the track. You know, he had his classless moments. You know, but I see a guy who matured, who softened with age, and that's supposed to be an age-old tale with men. We soften with age. We get wiser. And I've seen that with Fernando Vargas. And, you know, I think Fernando Jr. and Amato had to deal with more of that energy growing up with their pops. You know, he's open about beating alcoholism. And I think Emiliano is the beneficiary of that older, calmer Feroz. And I'm sure his family, if they're being honest, would agree with that assessment. So, you know, I got a lot of love for Fernando Vargas. Me and him have actually developed a good relationship over the years, which is cool for me to say as a kid who grew up loving watching him fight. And, you know, he's mellowed out a lot. And I say he won in life because he made a lot of money. His wife is still with the mother of his children. They love each other. They got their kids. It sucks that Fernando Jr. and Amato were scrapping at the Wynn Hotel, but shit happens. Oh!
I don't know.
Oh!
I just thought, you know.
Look at that. Is she not the Chick-fil-A chat?
Hello.
Hold on. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Can birthday girl say hello?
She's opening her presents.
She's opening her presents? Okay.
Come on.
All right. Say hello.
Oh my god.
We got my parents-in-law, my in-laws dogs here. Thanks, babe.
Love you.
So we'll see. Hey, Chick-fil-A, let's go. Yeah, YMM said it's great to see him and his dad doing well. All right, let's get the poll in. Who wins? I just like the hoodie, Cleo Chan. My wife went to the place in LA because my son thought it'd be cool that there's a robot that serves popcorn. We don't own a Tesla. Kind of are suspicious that AI will bring about a dystopia, but it's a clean black hoodie, bro. I God, it's a clean black hoodie. You can never have enough clean black hoodies. Vaquero or Sugar Nunez. Azúcar. Is battle worn. All right. Ooh wee. Got Chick-fil-A, baby. Got Chick-fil-A in the house. No more Japanese candies, though. It's the only downside. I'm eating the Chick-fil-A, chat. Let's go. Let's go. Not healthy at all. Maltese? I think so. Some kind of Maltese mutt. The referee did a good job for future concussions. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, yeah. Feel that chain now. Yeah. Shanazi, Somego Seren. Might be right about that. You gotta sing a song when you get your food. Do you feel that chain now? Yeah. Shana Paul, Somego Seren. What's good, L-Dub? What's good, Boog? Good to see you, brother. Teslas are overrated as fuck, Sean Z. I wouldn't know, man. I think the self-driving John is kind of cool, though. But I wouldn't trust it. I'd be afraid I'd die. I'd just wake up and it crash somewhere. So, Vaquero should win. I agree in that, at his best, more dynamic fighter than Nunez. But Nunez may have a few qualities with a perhaps fading Vaquero that allows him to win. He's a legit 130 with legit pop, you know, legit championship level guy. It's not Liam Wilson. It's not Chari Suarez. It's not little Joet Gonzalez. It's not little Oscar Valdez. You know, Vaquero better be on his P's and Q's tonight or he loses. And that's why he's the underdog. The bookies are saying this dude's fading. And again, Vaquero has inconsistent discipline in camps. Shows up out of shape, shows up off form in a number of fights lately. And that can catch up with you, man. That can catch up with you. So I don't know. Let me see if my boy BT is at the fight tonight. Nope, he's not. That's okay. Singing for food got to be a symptom of being on a spectrum. I do the same. We might be kind of retarded. Could be. But, we're grateful. Grateful for our food. It makes us sing. Thank you, Lord. So yeah, I don't know, man. I would like to pick. I don't have a pick. I didn't break down enough tape. What I saw on tape was Nunez keeps it tight, relatively basic, good power, very good physical shape, comes in well conditioned. Navarrete, who I've covered for years now, you know, like well over half a decade, is, I guess, never quite been a pound for pound talent, but is special in his own way. Special in the fact that he's been one of the true action fighters at the championship level for almost a decade. Special in the fact that he's unorthodox, that uppercut, his punching off timing, his heavy hands, his balls. He lets him hang. He's a warrior, but he's been in a lot of wars, and that inconsistent shape he comes in and form he comes in, you know. And I remember, you know, I started wondering, I was asking this back in the Liam Wilson fight, you know, he talked about only wanting a few more fights and then going back to his ranch in Mexico. And that's a red flag, man. You know, he has to, fighters like him, they got to dial up something different than technical masters that can win a series of fights without taking punishment. Navarrete, even when he's beating up and piecing up Isaac Dogbe, is taking shots. And that's part of why Maidana after the two Mayweather fights, retired at a relatively young age. It's like, yo, my 5 fights aren't the same as Shakur Stevenson's 5 fights, or even a Ryan Garcia. I'm taking punishment every fight, and that catches up, man. So I think there's a lot of logic behind making Nunez the slight favorite tonight. But Navarrete says fuck all that shit, and he's Navarrete at his best. He wins. Does that guy still exist? Can he still summon that? I don't know. About to find out. Don't forget the output. Yeah. The output and the kind of Eric Morales-like fighting spirit where you just had your moment and he is so good at answering that moment with a bigger moment. I think the guy who was the best at ever doing that in my lifetime, maybe I'm overrating him a touch, but I'm not sure I am, was Terrible. And, Pacquiao was good at that too. That's what made their fights amazing with the first two. Pacquiao was great at that too. Duran. Yeah. Those are guys that really, who else? Benavidez, guys that get hit, but then out-hit you. But Navarrete does remind me with the height from 22 to 30. He's not as good as Morales, but he's at his best. What's special about Navarrete is you would knock his head around, he would look off balance, and then he would answer the call and bust you up with a series of punches. He would take the play from you and beat the hell out of you. And that fighting spirit, that answering the call to drown out the moment you just had, to me, is Morales-like. At this point, complaining about Turkey is just shouting into the void. Let's pretend this is the void. Jash Mogil. Oh! I would yell louder, but my family's home. Oh! Oh! I'm going to go Booker T on you. Ah! There you go. I'm going to Godzilla radiation breath you. Ah! Into the void. Okay? Man looks into the void, and what does he see? Himself. All right? So, but thank you, though. Jash Mogul says, Buckaroo says, greatest commentator. Thank you, brother. The chin is eventually going to fail, but if Navarrete can stay clean, Nunez will get picked apart. Margarito was good at it, too. He would take 2 or 3 to land as one. But I don't even mean the way... Yeah, Margarito's good at that, but I mean... the kind of dynamic combination. Because Margarito was just a workhorse with cement in his gloves at times, allegedly, outside of the Mosley fight. The Paul Williams fight, something was odd even in that fight. But Margarito was more of just a non-stop downhill, iron-chinned guy with volume. And Navarrete and Morales get a little more rangy with it. They get a little more dynamic with it. They bounce around a little bit, and they come up with this dynamic, creative combinations and punches to answer your call and take it back from you. Whereas Margarito is just getting hit, staying downhill, and clubbing you into submission, punching you into submission. Morales and Navarrete would more get rocked, get their head snapped around, and then get a little bounce to them, and then rip, creative, dynamic kind of combination. So it's a different kind of vibe for me. The Void is sponsored by Sella. Damn, they even got... You're right. Me and my wife made a joke that we're going to wake up one day and it's going to be like Leonardo Zittel, my 6-year-old, like signed by Zuffa or signed by The Ring or Salah. So, damn, they even got my Void, huh? Well, shit, where's my Saudi money then? Fuck, I don't want it, but... Nunez, man, in shape, slipping, and I don't know, something about Navarrete looks a little flat. You know what was a bad sign for Navarrete? Was showing up late to his press conference. You know? I didn't like that. That's not a good sign. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. It might be the night Navarrete gets got. Can he... If he can be that vintage guy, he wins. I don't know, though, man. I don't know. I don't have a pick. But I don't know, man. Something about him does seem a little flat. And I don't like him showing up late to the presser. Navarrete is an underdog. I think this is the first time he's been an I think he's an underdog. This is like the first time since he fought Isaac Dogbe in the first fight. Was he an underdog to Valdez the first time? He might have been. Yeah, he might have been because Valdez was coming off Burchell. But then Valdez had almost lost to Conceição. And I got popped. So Navarrete and Morales should never be in the same sentence. I hear you. Navarrete's not Morales. Morales is great and Navarrete's good. But again, the height in these weight classes, he's rangy. Navarrete at his best is more rangy than you might give him credit for. That's why he's able to nail you with uppercuts on the outside from a distance most fighters wouldn't be able to catch it. He punches off timing. He has a better sense of distance with his awkwardness than you think. He's an all-out action fighter like Morales, despite being a taller, slender fighter, not being a bruiser who tightens up in the pocket out of a high guard. There's little traces of Terrible in him. There is. And come on, you're talking to like the Morales guy. Like Morales and Hopkins are my favorite fighters of all time. And I'm saying he reminds me a little bit of Eric. So, Eric. Does Leo have a pick? Ooh. I would have to have him come down here. Mr. Quake says Sean is the five-time commentator. That's right, baby. Does Leo... I would like to ask Leo. Hold on. Let's ask Leo. Last second pick, and this is who you make your bet on. Can Leo come down and make a pick? I'll ask. I will ask. And then it's a wrap after that. Then we know who's going to win. Leo's going to pick Nunez because of the body. Leo's going to see one guy in better shape than the other guy and pick Nunez. Edwin Rodriguez says, what a hell of a combo, Sean. LOL, Morales and Hopkins. Do I got taste or what? I got taste. Is he not sleeping? No, it's only 8:30 on the West Coast, so he's up. He just got Pokemon Red. They just re-released that. And this is how good of a father I am, chat. Tell me, is this being a great dad and setting him up for success, or is this spoiling? You can be honest. I think I'm biased. I got the Fire Red and the Leaf Green on Switch just so I could trade him all 3 starters on his first journey in Pokemon. So I made sure he had Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. That might be spoiling a little bit, but I wanted to do it for him. Anyway, tail of the tape. Navarrete 3 years older, 1 inch taller. Both fighters coming in just below the 130-pound limit. Nunez 29-1, 27 knockouts. Navarrete 39-2-1, and they changed the graphic before I saw the knockouts again. Chewing in the mic is crazy work. It's kind of gross. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Even though I don't want to. David Diamante, my guy. Get ready to call both fighters to the ring. I said, are you guys ready? So, that's fire parenting. Thank you. Okay, good. I was like, am I raising them soft? Am I giving them too much? The rest of us had to get through Pokemon with just 1 starter. And I said, no, Ugats, forget that. I'm giving them all 3. He's getting Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. So. Navarrete always looks taller than 5'7". He does. I agree. There's something about him. At these weights, from 22 to 30. It was the same thing with Morales. 22 to 30, Morales looked like a giant. Then once he got to 35 and 40, not anymore. But from 22 to 30, he looked like he was 6 feet tall in there sometimes. Did Kermel win tonight? He did. He did. I mean, I saw on Twitter that I think he made. I just got home for the Tamir Smalls fight, so here comes Ricardo Nunez. Again, I don't think as dynamic a talent as Emmanuel Navarrete, but fresher fighter. It probably in better shape. Yeah, he stopped Wilfredo Flores in 2. I'll check that fight after the live. Navarrete rehydrates to 5'9". That's actually brilliant. That's actually a great line, Jash. And I hope you didn't mind me screaming into the void anyways. But that is actually underrated comment by Jash Mogil. He rehydrates the fight. I like that so much. Sergey Kovalev used to rehydrate to 6'2". So here comes Ricardo Nunez. I mean, went the distance with Christopher Diaz, Bitofo. So let's see what we got. Nunez enters the ring, the less celebrated, accomplished, decorated champion. But this is important for Navarrete. You know, the WBO hands their belts to top-ranked fighters. Navarrete's only won the WBO belt in 3 weight classes, never unified. So, you know, Navarrete's got some proving to do, man. He's not going to go down as a true 3-division champ if he loses tonight. It's, you know, he held a belt in each weight class. So, you know, we'll see what's up here. So here comes Vaquero Navarrete, the bigger star. To me, one of the action stars of the last almost 10 years. Like a true action star. A decent, you know, a modest, decent ticket seller. A guy who could fill 5,000-6,000 in San Diego. I've covered a lot of Vaquero Navarrete fights. And he is a fan favorite. He gives you your money's worth every time. And to me, this fight is all about him. If he still got it in the tank to summon peak form, he wins this fight. But if he's the guy that fought Charlie Suarez, Liam Wilson, a couple of these other recent fights, then I think he meets his maker tonight. You know, and I think Nunez will be aided and assisted by everything else. Denis Beranchyk. Yeah, even Conceição was a draw. That's right. So, you know, he's only won 2 of his last 5 fights. Oscar Valdez, both times. That's actually a very, you know, when you put it that way. So, but something about him, he's got aura. He's got aura coming to the ring. He does. He's got aura. And on aura alone, I raise his chances a little bit. The man just got a little bit of aura coming to the ring. But is he destined for a late career Morales kind of, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a shootout, but the old warrior has taken a little bit too much, you know, and it's going to fall short. Like the David Diaz fight for Morales, like the Maidana fight for Morales, like the Danny Garcia first fight for Morales where he got dropped late. Does that show up here where he shows glimpses? He makes it like the good old days in terms of the action in the ring. He makes you feel that joy watching him fight, but a little too many miles on that odometer, a little too many, you know, nights at the taqueria where that's caught up to him, making weight, boiling down to weight, where he's a little weaker now. We're going to have to see. But this will be fun to watch. That's why I had to jump on. This will be fun. Nunez looks tired, tiny, says Secret Dance Moves. So, Maria C said, no, that's awesome. My son had to get by with Charmander alone. Yeah, see, Maria, though, you're raising him strong. Maybe I'm giving this kid too many advantages in life with the 3 Pokemon starters. I had to, you know, but I wanted to. I'm vicariously living through him. I would have liked it if I had them. So, Mexican anthem. Everybody's hand at the chest. This is going to be a respectful shootout between 2 real Mexican fighters in front of a Mexican crowd down in Arizona. I would have been there tonight, but, you know, daughter's birthday comes first. So, everybody hit the like if you haven't yet. Let's get it in. Let me check my video real quick. This is going to be an old school shootout, chat. Guaranteed. 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 I would be absolutely shocked if this fight sucks. Who do the Niners take at 27, Sean? No idea. I have not studied the draft yet. How about the Ohio State linebacker falling all the way to 27? The kid who's got like a 44-inch vertical and is 6'5", like DK Metcalf. Do you know who I'm referencing? Can you tell me who I'm referencing? Crash dummy. So let's do it. And now a little American anthem. By the way, what a bummer that America and Israel. You know what? We'll get into that another day. That they bombed Iran. I made it a little awkward by taking it there unnecessarily. All right, over 100 likes. Thank you guys very much. 74% got Vaquero. I think we just like Navarrete. How can you not? He wears a cool fucking cowboy hat. He's super exciting. He has an awesome uppercut. He looks like a lot of our tios, okay, when he comes to the ring these days without a muscle on his body. He's a, I get it. The bookies have Nunez as a slight favorite, but the chat has Navarrete as a big favorite. So, this is going to be a good fight. Homegirl is singing the anthem with heart. You gotta love it. Let's go. They about to do a tribute for my daughter's birthday, y'all. This is gonna be in tribute to my little girl's birthday, who is obviously half Mexican. Secret dance moves likes the girl singing the anthem. Yeah, you got your classy pink dress on. I got the shit on mute, but it looks like she sang her heart out. Good looks. All right, man, I kind of wish I got my in-laws upstairs from Mexico. I kind of wish they could watch this fight with your boy. Damn, but DAZN can't run 2 streams at once. It's kind of a shame. Kind of a shame. Let me ask my wife if she can watch the fight with me. Let me ask wifey if she wants to come down and enjoy this call with us. She could be the Larry Merchant to my Jim Lampley. Shout out to Ohio G. White. Thank you. You know, in Brooklyn, did you want to watch the fight with me? Well, if you want to, I mean, you're more than welcome to watch it with us down here. Because I know the kids are upstairs, but if, Grandpa, Abuela, and Abuelo are willing to watch them, you can come down and watch it with me. It's going to be a Mexican war in honor of Sophia's birthday. All right. All right, love you. Bye. All right, so in New York, we got is Brooklyn in the house? And, so we got to ask, is Mexico in the house? Is it in the house, chat? Is it in the house? I'm just curious. In la casa. On this night. So, we had Abdullah Mason fighting for the title. Top 5 Mexican champs. Alberto Gutierrez. In no order. I'm going to go Salvador Sanchez. My top 5, okay? Salvador Sanchez. I want to leave Julio out because I love Morales, Barrera, Marquez, and Salvador Sanchez first and foremost. And then the 5th guy, I was tempted to make it Canelo. But because Canelo sold out in Duck Benavidez, we're going to go ahead and let it be Chavez. So, there you go. Salvador Sanchez, Julio Cesar Chavez, Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, and Juan Manuel Marquez. With shout out to Finito Lopez. We're not counting fighters born in the United States, so otherwise Oscar. If we're counting fighters from the United States, then the top 5 is Salvador, Oscar, Eric, Marco, and Dinamita. But if we're not counting from the United States, then I'll go ahead and let Julio get in the top 5. So, How crazy would it be if boxing divisions were separated by height instead of weight? Well, Fundora would be fucked. Let's go. And Tank would probably never lose if he had his mind right and wasn't messing up outside the ring. So Ricardo Nunez, he does look small. You're right. He does. Secret Dance Moves keep saying, I can't get over how small he looks. Yeah, Navarrete definitely taller than him. Navarrete's going to kill this little dude, says Secret Dance Moves. Yep. San Juan, I cannot pronounce that. Zila Tepec Distrito Federal. So he is from the same federal district as Mexico City, but I cannot pronounce his hometown. We got pretty mediocre to decent, solid Mexico knowledge por la gringo. Okay? I would say so. But I'm biased. Navarrete bouncing up and down. Got his Wind Shells. Wind Shells Donuts has sponsored many a Mexican warrior. What is up with that? Well, when I used to go, it's all Mexico themed tonight, so we'll stay with it. When I used to go to La Luz del Mundo, when I'd stay the night at my best friend Jaciel's house, who was from Ensenada, and we had to, when I stayed the night and we were idiots all weekend, I had to go to church at La Luz del Mundo. They didn't even speak English. I didn't understand what they were saying, but I couldn't wait until church was done to go eat Wind Shells Donuts. So there's your connection. That's why many a Mexican warrior has wore Wind Shells Donuts. Remember El Siete Mares, too? For all the fighters like Jose Armando Santa Cruz, who used to have that El Siete Mares. I think Margarito had it, too. See, I'm well-versed in this stuff. All right, I'm just flexing the Mexican boxing knowledge tonight. All right, face-off. Navarrete, never going to be the more muscle-bound fighter, but the taller fighter. And looks comfortably hydrated in at 130 pounds. I don't know. Navarrete might be ready to thump. I don't know. This is fun. I do not know what we're going to... Navarrete might fuck him up. I know. This is why I didn't pick the fight. I'm wavering. He might be a little flat, a little shop-worn. Then the aura of him coming to the ring, and then just a little bit of his swag in the ring. He looks hydrated. He might fuck Nunez up. All right, listen. This might be Navarrete reminding everybody that he really is good. All right. Round one, here we go. And Navarrete, the taller fighter, bending down, shifting around to the left, bouncing around to the left. Nunez lands a jab. Navarrete a little sloppy with his first 1-2, a little slow on that trigger. Nice jab, though, lands for Navarrete. Misses the right hand behind it. Nunez having to stay disciplined and move out to his left. Navarrete hooks off the jab, misses with both, coming forward. Navarrete, of course, a little herky-jerky with his rhythm, a little unorthodox with his rhythm, but got some pep in his step, got some bounce in his step to start this fight. Nunez keeping it tight, moving to his right, trying to be the more compact, sharper fighter. Letting Navarrete open up wide. Navarrete gets his left hook blocked, opens up wide as he's one to do. Minute into the fight. Jab to the body by Nunez. Navarrete applying a little bit of pressure here. Sweeping right hand of the body, left hook, but opening up wide. And Nunez, sharp, compact, turns him. 2 sharp body shots by Nunez. And then Navarrete works his right hand in the clinch a little bit. But Nunez, better balance and sharper with his punches in that first sequence out of him. And a nice turn on Navarrete where he got to Navarrete's body. Shorter, sharper, compact shots. Nunez moving over to his left. Keeping his hands high. Nice right hand lands for Navarrete. Nunez thought he was out of range and that long, straight right hand landed. Nunez moving to his left. Navarrete applying some pressure. Dips down from a jab. Shoots a jab to Nunez. Nunez back touches the ropes. Navarrete with a long jab. Nunez gets off the ropes to his left. Back in the center of the ring. Little touch jab to the body by Nunez. Nunez leads with a left hook to the body. Navarrete backs out of range. Resets back in the center of the ring. Navarrete coming forward. Stalking with a little bounce in his step. Leads with a left hook. It gets blocked by Nunez. Keeping his defense tight. Making his feet have to make Navarrete pick his feet up. Staying sharp and disciplined is Nunez. Navarrete wide with a right hand to the body. Well off the mark. Nunez makes a miss. Nunez waiting for a moment to capitalize on Navarrete's wide punches again. Short left hook by Nunez just off the mark against Navarrete opening up wide. Now Nunez in the center of the ring. Pause with that jab a couple of times. Plants his feet. Short with a right hand against Navarrete. Takes that step out of range. Short right hand by Nunez up top. Navarrete backs out of range. Resets in front of him. Jab by Navarrete. Best moment in this round was halfway through when Nunez turned him. Now a long jab lands for Navarrete. Nunez back on the ropes. Nunez trying to have educated feet and educated movement in this round. 10 seconds left in the round. Navarrete almost gets countered with a right hand, sweeps the right hand in the body. Now he lands a sweeping right hand up top. Another right hand touches over the top. Nunez clinches him, works a little short body shot in the clinch. Good, solid first round. Navarrete applying more pressure, a little busier, but the best moment of the round was Nunez letting him open up wide with his back near the ropes and then turning him and landing short, crisp, kind of compact shots off the turn to the body of Navarrete. I'd like to see a slow-mo replay of that to see how clean that work was. Navarrete a little, shaking his head in the corner a little bit as if to say I'm fine. But I think the most quality moment of that round was for Nunez, but at the same time, he didn't do a whole lot. He didn't do a whole lot, and Navarrete did touch him too at times. Especially that long jab found a home a couple times. So a few of those right hands touched him, but the cleanest, most substantial moment of the round was a burst by Nunez. So tough, close first round. I guess I'll edge it to Nunez. 10-9 Nunez. It's not absurd if you have it the other way. Wasn't a clear, decisive round for either fighter. The best moment of the round was for Nunez. Now round two. Navarrete bouncing, coming forward. Nunez on his jab. Navarrete blocks it, coming forward. 1-2 by Navarrete. Not quite on the mark. They clinch. And the referee sets them apart. Back in the center. Nunez short with a right hand off his jab. Navarrete steps out of range, makes him fall short, using that length and that better sense of distance than he gets credit for by doing little things like that. Navarrete with some bounce in his step, still doesn't look sharp yet, hasn't put together his signature kind of unorthodox punch output in combinations, but he is on the front foot. Nunez just off the mark with a sharp left hook by a lazy right hand by Navarrete. Navarrete corners him, touches with his jab. Nunez escapes out to the left. Nunez being very economical and waiting for his moment to pounce again like he did in that one spurt in the first round. Navarrete is on the front foot. And Navarrete not quite on the mark with the jab. Nunez gets his right hand left hook smothered. They separate. Minute 40 left in the round. Nunez short with a double jab to the body. Navarrete stalking but not getting off a whole lot. Now Navarrete stuffs a jab in there after missing the first jab. Nunez moves out to his left, back in the center of the ring. Hands are held up high. Nunez almost a little bit with that kind of Nacho Beristain, hands up, lead hand, moving just a little bit out of the high guard. Now he's measuring with the lead hand. Sharp right hand by Navarrete, but he eats a right uppercut, trying to smother after landing that right hand. Now a little combination by Navarrete with Nunez against the ropes. And Nunez hasn't had a moment this round like he did in the first. And through 2 minutes, very slight edge to Navarrete, who hasn't had a lot of effective work himself, but he's getting off a little bit more. And he's the guy on the front foot creating the action while Nunez is looking to pick his spots and hasn't really been able to this round. Nunez stepping over to his left. Navarrete coming forward. Having to fight honest is Navarrete. Nice long jab by Navarrete. Two body shots by Nunez, though. Right there at the middle range. A nice jab to the body by Nunez. Those are more accurate shots by Nunez downstairs than Navarrete just moving his head to the right, just making him miss a left hook, missing with his own jab, though. This is the mid-distance that Nunez wants it with. Navarrete planting his feet for a minute there, making Nunez miss, but this is better work to the midsection the last couple sequences by Nunez. But I don't know if the judges will give him the round like this, where he had a lot of movement. This is not the kind of action this Mexican crowd showed up for. It's a slow first 2 rounds in terms of good left hook by Navarrete. Caught Nunez pulling out. I'll give the round to Navarrete. I liked some of the body work in the last minute by Nunez, but it was just in a short little spurt. And the trainer right away says, go to that body. As soon as he gets to his corner, he touches Nunez's body as if to say, that's where you need to start at. But Nunez is making Navarrete stay honest. Navarrete can't overwhelm him with those unorthodox angles and volume. He's keeping his guard tight, has sense of distance, and he's a short little explosive puncher that's making Navarrete have to think twice, even though Navarrete is getting off a little bit more and pushing the fight a little bit more. I think that might have been enough to get him the round, but judges may have liked that little clean body work in the middle of the round. But Navarrete landed a left hook in the last 10 seconds that I think did enough to make it 1-1. So yeah, I give that round to Navarrete 1-1, 19-19. So that's where we're at, 19-19. All right, round 3, here we go. Nunez starts by bending down, comes right back up. Navarrete lands a long jab. Nunez just short with the right hand counter over the top of it. Nunez gotta make that distance with some kind of tactics a little closer on average, and he'll have the advantage. 2 left hooks to the body by Nunez as Navarrete stayed in front a little too long. Navarrete pulled out of range, but those left hooks found his body a little bit. And that's what his trainer asked for. Now Nunez breaking his base, moving to his left. Now he's back in his stance. Nunez nice left hook by Navarrete. He caught Nunez moving straight back because, like I said, he broke his base a little bit going straight back. And so Navarrete knew he wasn't in position to punch. Now a catch and shoot left hook to the body by Nunez. A little low, I guess, because they touched gloves after as if to say that was low. Mannix has a 2-0 Navarrete. I'm not mad at that. I have it 1-1. Could be 2-0. But that was the best sequence of punches by Navarrete there when he made Nunez back straight up and knew he couldn't punch out of that. That's IQ by Navarrete. He noticed that a moment before. Good left hook to the body by Nunez in close when Navarrete tried to step in with a right uppercut. Nunez maybe moving too much for the taste of this crowd, though. Nunez back near the ropes. Overshoots a right hand counter. Navarrete works his right hand in the clinch after smothering him. Halfway through this third round, slight edge to Navarrete. Nunez moving again to his left. A lot of movement from Nunez. They trade jabs. Navarrete's a little longer. Nunez back, touching the ropes a lot this round. Navarrete maybe starting to smell an advantage where he can fire off combinations. If Nunez is going to keep touching his back on the ropes, sweeping right hand from Navarrete, touched him a little bit on his exit to the left. Nunez again getting near the ropes. And at times breaking that base. That's when Navarrete's going to look to follow up with shots, and he'll take a chance, even off balance. Lead left hook just off the mark of the chin. Just misses for Nunez. Straight right hand for Navarrete. Good sense of distance. Shot it straight and in the center of the ring and landed it. Timed Nunez, who was looking to step in with a jab at that time. And that's the little underrated craft of Navarrete, who's being forced to box tonight against a guy trying to give him problems with educated movement. And Navarrete showing his patience early on. Now he gets Nunez cornered. Keeps him fenced off at the end of his jab. Nunez exits out of there, though, to his left. But Navarrete with little subtle control this round. And with his patience. 1-2 for Navarrete. Oh, a nice feint by Navarrete with the feet. And he gets a little combination off with Nunez along the ropes. Another little combination by Navarrete. Right hand lands. Navarrete able to punch a little bit of volume there and get some work off. Even when, left uppercut lands for Navarrete. And there it is. He was patient for it, chat. Oh, that was, Navarrete. Beautiful stuff. 2-1 Navarrete. I could see 3-0, but that was beautiful, chat, because of the patience. He hadn't, that's his signature, that left uppercut. But Nunez was forcing him to fight honest, and he's forcing him to use his jab, forcing him not to open up too much. But Navarrete that round, very smart early in the round. Más inteligencia. Because he saw him break his base a few times. Like, okay, this guy's moving a lot. And he's moving in little situations where he can't actually punch off that movement once he breaks his stance. And Navarrete pounced on that in the first minute. Then in the last minute there, Navarrete, by being patient, but by noticing this dude kind of don't want the smoke, and he's throwing over the top, staying honest enough behind the jab, staying patient enough. Nunez got to a certain distance where he felt he could get off, and then boom, left uppercut, didn't see it coming, buckled his legs. That's Navarrete being patient and having a good sense of distance, man. Vaquero looking good early, looking good. I'm getting a little, I'm putting respect on Vaquero's name. Nunez jabbing to the body to start, but Vaquero's got a little subtle control now, and he got him backing up. Uh-oh, there's blood around the right eye of Nunez. This could be Navarrete's night. That long jab has been effective in spots at Navarrete. Navarrete landing a left hook out of their little exchange in close where Nunez doesn't expect it coming, and it's wide. It comes from an awkward time. Jab to the body. Navarrete starting to put him in the blender a little bit. Starting to turn him and shoot that jab to the body. Back comes Nunez with a jab to the body. But I like the patience from Navarrete and want to see him apply this. Lead left hook. Blocked by Nunez, but it's hitting something. And making him back out of range. And the crowd has to be with Navarrete. He's the Mexican fighter creating the action in there. But you could still sense there could be a burst coming from Nunez. He's being patient as well. But Navarrete's length, able to let him get off at a longer range a little bit. And Nunez not staying in the middle distance long enough. 1-2 makes Nunez retreat into the ropes a little bit. And Navarrete's beginning to catch him with partial blows, where a small part of that shot is landing around the gloves, not cleanly, and there's blood underneath the right eye of Nunez now. Halfway through the fourth, Navarrete with an edge in this fight. Long jab in the center of the ring. Another jab. Nunez pivots out to his left. If this keeps up for Nunez, you got to let him hang. You got to let him hang. You got to fight, because you're not outboxing him. Navarrete is showing his... double left uppercut by Navarrete at a kind of long distance. 1-2 by Navarrete. Hard left hook to the body by Navarrete. Another left hook to the body. Punching off the combo. Getting saucy. Now he measures with his jab. Shoots a left hook off that jab. Wipes his nose. Resets in the center of the ring. Oh, good double jab by Nunez. Navarrete fell in with a jab to the body. Had to eat 2 jabs for it. But he doesn't care about that. 40 seconds left in the round. A Navarrete round. Navarrete cooking a little bit here. Good patience by Navarrete. Shifts a step to the right. Makes him miss a 1-2. Backs out of range. Moves his feet to the left. Bounces up and down. Resets. 25 seconds left. Nunez short with the jab. One more spurt coming from Navarrete. You could feel it near the end of the bell. He's going to want to punctuate this round. He's won this round, but you know he's going to want to punctuate it. Nunez, good jab to the body. 10 seconds left. Right hand to the body by Nunez. Good work. Now Navarrete says, get your ass back over here. Throws a straight right hand. Throws a combination near the bell. Nunez shoots a left hook to the body. Misses a left hook to the body. And that's it. I gave that round to Navarrete. 39-37. Bebop Jones says, long ass reach. Yes, sir. Thomas SV4 said, I just farted. Good for him, too. You must feel some relief, sir. Secret Dance Move says, run, Nunez, run. See, we got a good chat. We got a good chat because 70% of you had Vaquero Navarrete. So the chat is smarter than me, who was on the fence, 50-50, and smarter than the bookies, more importantly. The chat is smarter than everyone. The chat owns all. What pandering I am doing, but it's true. Evie Zodi said, Sean, you're the best in the game. The game needs voices like you now more than ever. Appreciate all you do. Happy birthday to your daughter, by the way. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. So I'm having fun, though. I'm having fun. The war hasn't really broken out, but I'm admiring the patient Vaquero. The patient cowboy. All right. Who's dying to start whooping that ass, but he knows he has to be patient. This guy's disciplined. Oh, now Nunez starts on the front foot. Eats a couple jabs, but now Nunez coming forward with some gusto. Let's see how that adjustment works. Nunez, double jab, straight right hand. Navarrete makes a miss. Stuffs that long jab in there. Stuffs another long jab in there. Lead left uppercut. Misses for Navarrete. 1-2. Blocked a little bit, but splits a little bit for Navarrete. They trade jabs. Navarrete getting the better of it. Mannix has it 4-zip Navarrete. Ooh, sharp straight right hand counter by Nunez falls a little short. Navarrete with those long arms keeping him on the end. Navarrete stumbles backwards for a second. Looks off balance, but it was a slip. Nice left hook to the body by Nunez. Short right hand on the inside for Nunez. Back comes Navarrete the uppercut. Good jab by Navarrete, but Nunez is closing the gap now. Let's see how Navarrete deals. Ooh, sharp left hook up top by Nunez after he stepped in with a body shot. You know, you might be letting this shop-worn war. You might not have the right game plan. A double left hook on the inside by Nunez. Left hook to the body. And now Nunez looks better, taking the fight to Navarrete. You know, the guy's been in a lot of wars. You got to test that. Oh, go ripping right uppercut off the jab by Navarrete. Cleaned up with a left hook. Nunez keeping his defense high guard and honest. That was a good couple of left hooks to the body and up top by Nunez before that sequence by Navarrete. Now Nunez back and back out. Navarrete keeping him on the end of the jab. Navarrete shoots that jab in there again. Nunez back to closing the distance. Smothers a 1-2. Left hook to the body by Nunez. 2 left hooks up top. Well, 2 more left hooks by Nunez up top. Nunez winning this round. And taking the fight to Navarrete, who looks a little uncomfortable on the inside when Nunez... Oh, hard left hook on the inside by Nunez. Navarrete fighting his way off the ropes. Oh, hard left hook on the inside by Nunez. Nunez getting the better of that exchange. Back comes Navarrete, though. Can he answer with one of those spirited exchanges we talked about before? Hard left hook to the body by Navarrete off a right uppercut off top. Another left hook to the body by Navarrete. And now the war is breaking out. Short left hook lands for Navarrete. A combination on the inside. Another left hook for Navarrete. Ripping off the right uppercut. Navarrete getting some get back in those sequences from those left hooks earlier by Nunez. Left uppercut just off for Navarrete. Nunez trying to stuff a left hand in there on the inside. The distance is closed. Nunez still coming forward. He's got to stay to Vaquero's body. Nunez takes a step out of range now. They reset in the center of the ring. Good action. By far the best round of this fight. Now Vaquero got some get back to some of that earlier work of Nunez. Nunez short with a straight right hand. Navarrete backs out. Nunez not keeping that pressure consistent. Vaquero getting his respect by ripping some of those shots. And that does it. Round 5 was a doozy. It was a close one. Swing round. I think a lot of those left hooks were very effective on the inside to the body and to the head by Nunez. Vaquero answered the call by ripping a few left hooks to the body himself and a few left hooks up top off little decoy shots on the inside. Sometimes a right uppercut, boom, left hook to the body. Right uppercut up top, clean up with the left hook up top. So a close competitive round. Let's see on the slow-mo. Vaquero covering up in his version of a shoulder roll, almost doing the Ryan roll. And then a jab. Woo, what a right uppercut to the body and a left hook up top. Close round. I'll edge it. Yeah, Secret Dance Move says he'll edge it to Navarrete with the late rally. I'm okay with that. I could see it 5-0 Navarrete or 3-2 Navarrete. I think the first round and the 5th round were close. 2, 3, 4 was Navarrete. All right, back comes Nunez. Nunez closing the gap, working in the clinch with left hooks to the body. 2 or 3 or 4 of them. Not getting full leverage, but good work out of the clinch. They trade jabs. There are spots where Navarrete doesn't look as comfortable taking it to the midsection as he would have years ago. Where some of that resistance isn't quite the same as it was, but punch resistance, you know. He's like he feels those shots more. Good left hook to the body again by Nunez. Oh, hard left hook to the body by Navarrete, though. Answering the call with a right uppercut set up to the left and withering shots. Navarrete getting better leverage on his left hooks to the body. Nunez, by being the shorter guy and in close, getting more of them off. But when Navarrete rips one, it rips. It tenderizes. Minute into the 6th. Oh, left uppercut lands for Navarrete. Nunez, though, not eating it clean. Bending his knees down, catching some of it. Oh, hard left hook to the body by Navarrete. Nunez keeping the elbows in. Right uppercut by Navarrete. Nunez walking through some shots, smothering some of those shots. They're not getting in fully clean, but Navarrete ripping some shots with him coming forward. Referee separates them. Close round halfway through. Navarrete touching with the jab, keeping it in the center of the ring. Nunez not consistently applying that pressure. 1-2 misses for Navarrete. Back comes Nunez behind a double jab. Jabs to the body. Gets low. Gets to the body again with short little shots in the clinch. Double left hook up top for Nunez. Navarrete, hard right hand with some distance between them. The jab set it up. 2 body shots by Navarrete. Harder punches by Navarrete there. More leverage on the end of those shots. Hits Nunez with a jab, and it makes Nunez think twice about coming forward. Right uppercut by Navarrete lands. Left hook glances off the head. 1-2 by Navarrete in the center of the ring. 45 seconds left. Navarrete with the harder shot. Nunez turns him on the ropes. 2 body shots and a left hook up top. Good work by Nunez this round in the last. Oh, hard left hook to the body by Navarrete off the jab and the right uppercut up top to set it up. Navarrete, the more dynamic punch selection. Right uppercut to the body for Navarrete inside. Sweeping right hand to the body by Nunez. Left hook to the body by Nunez. Nunez, short right hand up top. Hard left hook by Nunez with Navarrete along the ropes. Navarrete missing some shots up top, but lands a hard left hook off that combination. Short right hand with his back against the ropes. Hard left hook with his back against the ropes. Dips down. Awkwardness by Navarrete, but out punching Nunez, ripping a combination. Nunez, good left hook to the body, but eating shots up top. That's a Navarrete round. But Nunez is having good work done, especially to the body. But Navarrete got the superior firepower when he rips and gets some leverage with those long arms. You know, I got a 58-56 Navarrete, could see 59-55. Could even see 60-54, but it doesn't feel like that kind of fight. It feels more 59-55, 58-56. Sean, Ashton Kutcher has nothing on you. Thank you, sir. I much prefer that comparison to Drake Bell. 5-1 Navarrete. I could definitely see that, says Mr. Gandhi. That's a Farah. Good fight breaking out these last 2 rounds. No, look, I want to give respect to Nunez. He's getting some work done. And making Navarrete look uncomfortable on the inside sometimes. But then Navarrete, we talked about it before the fight, he's so good at answering the call. Answering the call and taking the play away. And he's done that enough the last 2 rounds to stay ahead. But Nunez has closed the gap, literally, in terms of distance. And he's landed his best shots the last 2 rounds. And I think he's getting Navarrete's attention with some of this. But the old warrior, not old, but he's old in terms of damage in the ring in a lot of ways. He's looks like he got enough in the tank to still summon enough spurts to keep the fight on his terms, or at least win the fight. So 5-1 by DAZN by Mannix. He gave the 6th to Nunez. I would have argued more for the 5th for Nunez. And I think the 1st was close. Navarrete, short little right hand off the jab. Fan zone has it 6-zip for Navarrete. Navarrete got good little stutter step feints sometimes. And Morales had that too. Oh, knifing right hand to the body. That had to hurt. Nunez felt that. It was a sweeping right hand placed right underneath the left elbow of Nunez. Double jab from Navarrete when they trade jabs. His is longer. He's keeping him on the end of it. But that was a hell of a right hand to the body by Navarrete. Back on the jab. Knocks Nunez off balance a bit in the center of the ring. So Navarrete with the advantage almost halfway through the 7th. Nunez can apply that consistent pressure and get inside. And on the outside, Navarrete has an advantage. Jab is longer and more effective and knows when to pick his spots. That right eye, still a little bit bloody underneath Nunez's right eye. Minute 25 left in the round. Another Navarrete round if it continues this way. Lead left hook falls well short for Nunez to the body. Now he clinches Navarrete, works his hands in the clinch. Navarrete breaks out of the clinch with a right uppercut left hook. Navarrete fires a vicious combination near the ropes that brings the crowd to its feet. Right uppercut on the inside. Finishing and cleaning up with the right hand. 2 left hooks to the body by Nunez, but he eats a left hook off the right uppercut. Sweeping, clubbing right hand by Navarrete. Back in the center of the ring. Jab, freezes him with it. Left uppercut. Left hook lands with Nunez along the ropes. Another left hook for Navarrete. Oh, big left hook. They trade left hooks with Nunez near the ropes. Nunez fires a right hand to the body, eats a sweeping right hand up top. Navarrete showing he could fight on the inside with those long arms and rip them. 2 hard body shots by Nunez. 2 hard body, but back on a 1-2 is Navarrete. 30 seconds left. Some vicious combinations by Navarrete this round. Nunez, again, good body work, but not enough to overcome the dynamic combinations and sequences by Navarrete. Navarrete doesn't like that body work, but he's a G. He fights through it. Short left hooks on the inside by Nunez. Navarrete more the explosive guy. Nunez working those left hooks to the body and close, but not with the leverage on the firepower of Navarrete. And that will do it Sweeping right hand for Navarrete near the bell. Another Navarrete round. Respect to Nunez. He's getting good body work done, and I don't think Navarrete likes it. But like body language says, he doesn't like it when he's on the inside and Nunez is investing to the body. But he has an answer each time. Now, you are seeing some of the ring. I mean, Navarrete, he had these moments with Joel Gonzalez. He had these moments with Valdez. But something about his body language looks more weary these days when he has to sustain his opponent's, attacks inside. But he's got an answer. He's got a big answer every time. And he wins that round with some vicious combinations on the slow-mo. And it's with the right hand inside. Whether it's an uppercut, whether it's sweeping it in close. It's cleaning up with that right hand. And a few left hooks, too. Sometimes right uppercut, boom, left hook off of that. They traded left hooks. So, yeah, a proper mic and time clock would do this stream wonders. Yeah, I gotta up production value, damn it. It's so long overdue. I'm sorry, Chad. But round 8, and here we go. Navarrete well ahead right now. Nunez has to rally here and hope Navarrete's a little, tired from the weight cut, some of the body work. Nunez investing to the body early in the 8th round. Nunez coming forward. Navarrete near the corner. Right uppercut lands for Navarrete, but a hard left hook to the body by Nunez in return. Nunez showing dog. 30 seconds into it. Nice jab by Navarrete. Wipes his nose. 1-2 by Navarrete. Blocked by Nunez. Back on the jab is Navarrete. Nunez getting to the midsection again in the center of the ring. Navarrete pulls out. Oh, hard right hand by Navarrete off the jab. Knock that chin around. Pulls straight back from a left hook up top. Another lead left hook for Nunez. Navarrete steps back inside. Gets his punches smothered. Now he's near the corner. Navarrete, the king of the get off me punches this fight. Because they're vicious get off me punches. Back in the center of the ring off his jab for Navarrete. Nunez getting him near the ropes quite a bit to start the round. Straight right hand of the body by Nunez. Working in the clinch to the body of Navarrete. And again, I think Navarrete's feeling that. Nice left hook to the body by Navarrete. Right uppercut, left hook for Navarrete. Much better, clean, effective, harder shots by Navarrete when he picks his spots. Nunez not able to overcome it at this point in the fight. Navarrete leaning heavy over his front foot, almost Mayweather style by his standards. Almost like he's setting up that pull counter Floyd right hand. Backs up on the ropes, right uppercut, left hook, cleaning up with sweeping right hands out of the combination. Nunez firing to the body, landing some body shots with Navarrete along the ropes. Good body work by Nunez, but hard left hook up top by Nunez. Big right hand by Nunez, another right hand by Nunez. Catching Navarrete in between 2, 3, 4 right hands by Nunez. And now Navarrete stumbles him a little bit with his own right hand off the ropes. But that was some hard right hand. Nunez is landing some good shit in this fight, man. 40 seconds left. They trade right hands. 1-2 by Navarrete. Double left hook by Navarrete. Some of these shots are knocking Nunez off balance. He's got a good pull. Oh, hard right uppercut to the body by Navarrete. Navarrete might hurt him. But now the Mexican war is here. Right uppercut, left hook on the inside. Left uppercut for Navarrete. Hard left hook to the body by Nunez. He steps in, gets a short left hooks in. Really in the phone booth. Nunez, again, with a lot of good work. Close round, but not enough. Not enough to stem the firepower of Navarrete. Left uppercut at the bell. I give that round to Navarrete. I think it's, 6-2 Navarrete, about that kind of area. 78-74 Navarrete. Good fight. Ever since the 5th round kicked off, it's been the war has broke out in 5, 6, 7, and 8. First 4 were tactical. So, I don't think Foster is ready for El Vaquero, Sean. I don't know. I think I'd favor Foster, but I don't know. I think I'd favor Foster. His precision and defense and his point A to point B punching. And but I don't know. I get you. I mean, Navarrete has those special bursts and combinations, and I'm a Navarrete fan. I would go with the brother at 130. Just being honest. but maybe not. I mean, it's a good fight. I would go with. I just think that some of those wide unorthodox. I think Shock is a sharpshooter and very hard to hit. But maybe not. Maybe he get overwhelmed. Maybe he doesn't throw enough. And Navarrete's got underrated craft for sure. I mean, we've been saying that. He showed his pace. Double jab by Navarrete to start. Oh, hard flurry on the inside to the body by... Oh, hard left hook by Navarrete. Nunez is hurt. Navarrete is so good at letting you get comfortable on the inside just so he can answer the call with more leverage. That hurt Nunez. Double left hook hurt him. Oh, right hand, left hook in between Nunez's punches. Nunez getting lit up to start the ninth. And Navarrete can start to smell a stoppage. This would be arguably the best win of his career if he stops Nunez because it's a unification. He's never unified before. Navarrete keeping him on the end of that jab. And Navarrete could start. He is cooking. He could smell a stoppage, I think. Nunez is getting busted up. His right eye is in bad shape. Lots of blood around it, swelling. And it's starting to smell like a Vaquero knockout. Right hand off the jab. Landed for Navarrete. Nunez coming forward. And that last staccato burst took something out of the steam of Nunez's punches. Oh, hard right hand by Navarrete. Nunez is reeling. Right uppercut by Navarrete. Snapping that head around. That neck is snapping around now on these shots. The end feels near for Navarrete. Nunez losing steam. Losing steam out of his punches. Head is getting snapped around worse in the ninth. The end feels near now. This would be a statement for Navarrete. Nunez trying to work that body. But Navarrete is in firm control now and on his way to a stoppage. You could feel it coming. You could feel it coming. Nunez getting Navarrete against the ropes, but again, there's not the conviction on his shots that there was earlier in the fight, and Navarrete took those. So now if he could take that early in the fight, he could take these later in the fight with a lot of the steam taken out. Nunez's right eye is almost closed now. And Navarrete just waiting for the right moment to let it all hang out. Double left hook, catching Nunez on the way in, little right uppercut. Now Navarrete digs with a sweeping right hand, a left hook to the body. Nunez still letting those hands go, pinning Navarrete against the ropes, give him credit. But a short left hook when Navarrete's back against the ropes gets Nunez's attention. When's the uppercut? The uppercut's coming, chat. The ref might have to stop this because of that eye. That eye is closed. The right eye is closed of Nunez. Nunez going out on his shield. Short left hook, rocks him back. Left uppercut, another left hook. He's on stilts. And he makes it out of the round, but they may have to stop the fight. His right eye is closed, and he is getting lit up. This might be it. Damn, Vaquero Navarrete. Give him his props. Give him his props. This fight is over. This fight is over. That eye is closed and cut. He has beaten the steam out of him. Nunez is a dog, but he is being beaten up by the better man. He could have tried to apply pressure earlier, but I just think Navarrete's the better fighter. He's the more dynamic, special talent than Nunez. Yeah, his eye is done. Hey, you're going to stop it for the guy, Kintana, for Emiliano. You're not going to stop it for this guy. What are we doing over here? By that standard, this shit is over. They're going to let Nunez out. They're going to let him out. This is a Mexican war. They're going to let him go out on his shield. Navarrete's like, word? Yeah, go check on him. Yeah, all right, they're going to look at him. Doctor taking a look at him. And the corner did a good job just to open up that eye just enough. And they're going to let him keep going. Good job by Nunez's corner, man. That end swell, he worked magic with it. He did just enough to open it up a little bit. But it's there. Navarrete's about to close it shut again in a minute, it feels like. Round 10. Navarrete husbanding his strength for another burst to finish this guy at some point. 20 seconds into it. Navarrete circling to his left. Still got his wind to him. Not tired. Oh, straight lead right hand to the body by Navarrete. Just off with a lead left uppercut right after it. Now a left hook. Navarrete is throwing these. Oh, now there's a little quick burst, sweeping his shots, cleaning up with a left hook. He touches gloves with Nunez. What a gentleman Navarrete is. Navarrete is setting him up. He's setting something up. There's a method to this madness. These sweeping shots as he moves and turns. Setting something up. Oh, he tightens it up in the high guard. Takes a body shot from Nunez. But he can smell it. He can smell the finish line, Ken Navarrete now. He can smell the finish. Knows he's got his man hurt and in control. He knows he set the table to get a late round stoppage. Been a hell of a performance by Navarrete. Oh, hard right uppercut by Navarrete off a left hook on the back foot, chat. On the back. Oh, what a left hook to the body off a right hand up top. Mixing his punches now. He's in his bag. Oh, short left hook off a step to the left. Makes him fall short. Hits him with a left hook again with the step back. This is sauce. Oh, Navarrete stepping off. Doing the little combination. Left hook to the body. Another left hook to the body. God damn. Oh, another left hook to the body. Another left hook to the body. Punching in between. Left hook up top. Nunez just nothing on his shots, but drilling away to the body. Well, this man won't go down. What heart by Nunez, because Navarrete, oh man, Navarrete against the ropes, fighting off the ropes. Blood all over his back now from the eye of Nunez. You can't let this guy take more of this. Oh, right, left hook off the right uppercut. Another right uppercut. Come on, ref. Come on, ref. Navarrete fighting his ass off the ropes and out of the corner. Nunez's right eye completely bloodied. Short right hand. Nunez, a dog, just throwing and throwing and throwing, but nothing on these shots compared to Navarrete. Oh, short right hand on the inside by Navarrete. Short left hook, but he gets leverage on it. He gets leverage on it, so, despite being smothered with long arms. God damn. Oh, what a combination by Navarrete. He steps over to his left, sweeping shots on the combination with both hands. Nunez staying to the midsection. Workman-like shots. Nothing really on. A lot of the sap drained out of those shots. Oh, what a combination by Nunez at the bell. But Navarrete cleans up that combination and answers with power shots, sweeping power shots. Gets the better of that exchange. Nunez, all right, time to save this guy. He's went 10 strong. I think this has got to be the end here. Stop the fight. We got 300 in the chat. Thank you, guys. Hit the like if you haven't already. Julio Cesar Chavez screaming to stop the fight, says William. This is Navarrete's best performance. You know, shit. Valdez, this, and the first the two Dogbe fights, the two Valdez fight, and this fight. But this to me is his finest hour because it's a unification where he was an underdog. You're gonna let him go out again? Yo, he needs the referee from Emiliano's fight. Like, come on. Nunez has some fucking heart, man. Taking a beating, but still... massive heart. Look at Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is like, these top-ranked motherfuckers never stop beating my fighters. Eddie, man, gets taken to school by Top Rank. All right. Come on, Doc. Doctor taking a look at Nunez. That eye is shut. He's got blood splattered all over his shoulder and chest. Dripping down. Right eye closed. I don't see... Yeah. No. Yep. And that's it. All right. Logic prevails. It's a TKO 11. And Nunez stopped on his feet like an absolute warrior. Navarrete, no doubt about it, going to give him all the respect in the world. Navarrete's a gentleman. Navarrete is the closest thing to this era's Eric Morales, chat. Closest thing. You know, Morales never unified until he got to 130. When he beat Famoso Hernandez and Jesus Chavez. Look, Morales, the first ballot Hall of Famer. Navarrete's not quite that, you know, but he's pretty damn good. And 4-time champion in 3 divisions. Now he finally unifies. Yo, he's the closest thing to Eric Morales in this era. All right, time to tweet something. Wow. put some respect on Vaquero's name. Great patience early. And then took the play away repeatedly. Underrated sense of distance. Rips those combinations to answer the call. He reminds me of Eric Morales more than anyone else from this era. Great patience early, and then he took the play away repeatedly. Underrated sense of distance, rips those combinations to answer the call. What else am I going to say here? Hold on. I didn't know if after all the close calls with Suarez, Conseil, Sal, the L to Beren, check, coming in out of shape, all the wars, the inconsistent form, shape he comes in, if he had this in him. Such a fun action fighter and a damn good fighter at that. Hats off to the Cowboy. All right. Man, that was fun. And Morales, yes, was better. But he's damn good. And answers the call with momentum swing combinations, much like Terrible used to. Maybe his finest hour. Underdog, and it's his first unification. Boxing. All right. Well, that was dope, chat. That was dope. That was dope. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. From 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it was a war. And, oh yeah, Matt Borgeson, I still got to watch Andreas Katsorakis. I got you. We'll just sum up some of this post-fight real quick. But damn, that was fun. That was fun. Oh no, that was old. That was from earlier. I gotta check that again later. But ooh, Bebop Jones, man, that was fun. Vaquero, props to him, man. That was fun. Bring on Oshaki. You know, I'd favor Foster. You know, let's not. I love Vaquero, man. Like I love him. Like I think you guys can hear the sincerity, how much I really got love for the dude. But I think a sharp, tall, a guy who's as tall as he is, long as arms as he's got, can fight out of both stances. I don't know. I'd give the edge to Foster, but it's a damn good fight. I would love to see it. Looks like Raymond Ford and Oshaki Foster were going back and forth more, but I would favor the Cowboy. Or excuse me, I'd favor Foster, but hey, it's a good. That's why they fight the fights. That's a hell of a fight. You definitely gotta respect Vaquero Navarrete. That guy is a warrior's warrior, a true Mexican champion, and if he could beat Oshaki Foster, he's a Hall of Famer. You know, that's the fight to get Navarrete into the Hall of Fame. If he could beat a sharp, one of the best defensive fighters in boxing in Oshaki Foster, after Shakur Stevenson, it doesn't get too much better defensively than Foster. He's pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn hard to hit. Sharp. Big for the weight. Hell of a technique. Shockey Foster is excellent. And if he were to take the green belt, which he's never won before, off of him to become basically the fucking undisputed champion. I mean, at that point, whatever, with the WBA belt. I can't even recall off top who has that belt right now. But Suarez versus Navarrete rematch is next. Yeah, you might be right. But we are going to have to time out the spamming. You are correct about that. Time out for 10 minutes. Okay? We got you. Suarez Navarrete rematch. Gotcha. Okay? But yeah, that was a hell of a fight. So yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Hey, and then Nunez puts on the cowboy hat. Lots of respect between these two respectful warriors. You know, they definitely represented with class, and Vaquero is a gentleman. I'm proud that he showed up correct, man, and he didn't let his inconsistent preparation and his inconsistent form. You know, if a guy's better than you, Navarrete, you know, if he could beat you on your best night, let him beat you. But even though lightweight's not his division, he shouldn't have lost to Denis Berinchyk. You know, that was him showing up pudgy, and you know, like he should have been able to beat a Denis Berinchyk. No disrespect to Berinchyk, but Navarrete is a better fighter than Denis Berinchyk. Yeah, not fighting in his real weight class, but still he didn't seem to show up at 100% for that fight, and it cost him. But yeah, I would like to see him fight Foster. I would give the edge to Foster, but if he were to beat Foster, man, that's what gets him in the Hall of Fame and takes him from an awesome action fighter, a quality champion, one of the truest action stars of his era, to a great fighter. If he wants to be a great fighter, he would have to beat Foster, and I think that's what would take him to that level. So I would love to see that fight. Top Rank should make that fight. I don't know if they will, though. I don't know if they're keen on that fight. They never have been. They've never tried to make it before. They probably feel like Foster doesn't sell, and Navarrete is a modest, decent, solid Mexican ticket seller that they don't want to risk against this guy. But, I mean, put the fight in Texas. Foster's from Texas. A lot of Mexican fans in Texas. And I would love to see that fight. And we'll find out who the man is at 130. I think Foster more than deserves that opportunity to fight in front of a guy who can draw and sell a little bit, a guy with a respected reputation like Navarrete. I think that's a hell of a style contrast for us boxing hardcores, and you know, I would love to see it. I really hope that's the fight that's next. Raymond Ford, you know, he's got to wait. I would like to see him have to wait another fight before that. But Raymond Ford and Oshaki Foster is a great fight too. And the timing of that fight might actually favor Ford because Foster, I don't, you know, he might be. I know Foster for unification, like they're both excellent fights. Ford and Foster and Navarrete and Foster are both great fights. So yeah, they'll do Navarrete Espinoza instead of Foster. J Dub. Oh, you think so? Think so, Boog? Navarrete Espinoza is a huge fight for Mexico. Got to cash in on that. Yeah, you could kiss the Inoue payday goodbye though for Divino probably. That is a hell of a fight, Divino and Espinoza. I can't be mad at it. I can't be mad at Divino Espinoza against Navarrete. I can't kick that out of bed. But for, you know, merit's sake and traditionalist sake, where you want to find out who's the man of a weight class, basically an undisputed fight, 3 out of 4, good enough between the top two dogs. I wish we could see Foster and Navarrete, but you're right. That's a money fight. Let's see. Who said that? I gotta find that comment again. Someone said I'll be interviewing them as a pro one day. Matt Borgeson said Navarrete Shakur 135. Nobody thought of that, or maybe give him a shot against Gervonta. Not a fan of those two fights. Navarrete looked like shit at 135. He's not beating Shakur. I mean, that fight would have been better when Shakur was still at 130. But they didn't want to do that fight. I just think, nah. Shakur is Shakur is too solid at 135 compared to Navarrete. At 130, that would have been a fun fight. Man. I think Shakur would have too much ice. He would cool the fire off. Yeah. I mean, I hear you. Navarrete, the way he looks tonight, you're interested in anybody he fights from here to 35. But Shakur all day. And then Tank, stylistically, that sounds a little bit more fun. Getting him on a return. I mean, that's not a bad matchup. But I think both those guys, I don't know. Who knows what Tank's going to look like if and when he gets back in the ring. I mean, he's been steady fucking up. But who knows? I'm just much more for Foster. Like, that's just my fight. That's the fight I want to see. Pitbull versus Navarrete. Pitbull's going to 47 soon. Navarrete's not a 140 pounder. He was pudgy at 135. I still think he could fight at 135 in better form and shape than he did then. But can I put up a poll for Shock and Vaquero? Yeah, well, the chat is super smart. The chat knew who was going to win this fight, so why wouldn't they know who's going to win the next fight? All right, chat. With no recency bias, because Vaquero just gave us a scintillating performance from rounds 5 through 10. Who wins? All right. The Cowboy. The Shockmaster. Or Static Shock. All right. There you go. Static Shock as a reference for that short-lived Y2K cartoon on Fox. KO 3000 said, I had Navarrete and Vargas KO parlay. Ooh, you made some money, bro. Congrats. Hit up Long Island Luke from Morning Combat. He's a cool dude and will point you in the right direction production-wise. Do you mean Luke Thomas? I was on Morning Combat with Luke Thomas. So is Long Island Luke Thomas? Well, Luke's from DC, right? So is that like his producer or something? Let me know. You don't have to drop a super chat. Just let me know. But Matt, I still got to check out your boy from Greece. The guy who fought Brandon Adams. Hold on. And I'll let you know what I think about him. Adam Cole. Marcus versus Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams versus Andreas Katsarakis. Let's see. We need some highlights. All right, I got him. We got Shock by 60% so far. What's up, Panama? Vargas versus Carmel? I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know. I think Vargas is being developed better because he's with Top Rank. I think Carmel. I don't know. I gotta watch Carmel's fight from tonight. I'll let you know in like 5 minutes. Let me watch this Andreas from Greece because my man Matt asked me. Another outstanding job on the call, Sean. Thank you guys, man. How was the call tonight, chat? Let's give it an honest grade on the scale 1 to 10. Let's see. All right. Low blow. Okay, first impressions of Andreas is... Let me see. Well, he's implementing the same kind of game plan Boachuk is, but Brandon isn't beating his ass the way he did Boachuk. Good inside work, good left hook on the inside. Applying pressure. Yeah, he's kind of fighting like Boachuk, but he has the better body type to apply that kind of game plan to Brandon. Because Boachuk is a taller, slender target area and frame. And this guy is shorter and more compact. Kind of reminds me of like... You know, Stan Jonas. But Stan Jonas is a little... Works behind his jab on the front foot more. I'm just watching highlights, Matt. I'm not seeing anything special in the highlights. But he took the fight to Brandon, and Brandon is not being the boss on the inside like he did with Boachuk. And he is sharp on the inside. But I'm not seeing like a lot of angles and head movement. He's sharp on the inside though. And strong. You know, kind of like a smothering pressure guy. Good on the inside. Good left hook. We're talking about Andreas Katzorkis from Greece. Smothering pressure fighter. Keeps his elbows tight. Yeah, it reminds me a little like Stanionis, Butayev, like the kind of fight they had. A lot of phone booth work. He definitely is taking it to Brandon, though, and winning the fight. And Brandon isn't comfortable on the inside the way he was able to gain leverage and get underneath Boachuk on the inside, kill his body. He's got good combinations on the inside. But I don't see a guy that's beating Virgil Ortiz or Sebastian Fundora. But he's strong, man. He looks like kind of like a 154. Oh, there's a little cute defensive, solid maneuvers from him. A lot of high guard stuff. Solid hand speed. Really good physical inside fighter. Yeah, he reminds me, you know, like that mold of a Stanionis, a Butayev. Kind of like that. Kind of a somewhat like what the Abus Barals do when they get close. He could be outboxed by a guy with enough power to keep him honest, slow him down a little bit, keep a jab in his face. But yeah, he's a solid customer. He's strong, great. He's in great shape, sturdy, good on the inside, solid, good fighter. I don't think he's anything special. But he's a solid, rough customer. I don't think he's. I don't know if he wins a belt in this 154 landscape. And I'd like to see Brandon fight him again. Maybe Brandon took him a little lightly, but no, I mean, to his credit, he applied the same kind of game plan Boachuk did, but he did it with a better frame to actually execute it. So they avoided Suarez. Grandpa Bob don't want that fight. Yeah, Suarez got fucked. He got fucked. I do think he got fucked in that fight, but you know, what's Suarez done since then? Has he fought? And I think he got Vaquero on some bullshit. I don't think Suarez would have beat this version of Navarrete. And Navarrete was hurting him too in their fight. Yeah, he hasn't fought since then. That was not a year ago. But I'm down to watch Suarez again. The Philippines really support their fighters. Top ranked fight. Panama, thank you, brother, for jumping in again. Thank you, Maria. Says it was a 10. Bebop said it was a 10. Thank you, guys. You guys are my hardcores. Top ranked fighters prove their superiority once again. I hope Matt was able to see my breakdown of Andreas. All right, now let's watch Kermel real quick, and then we'll call it a night because I want to eat this. I want to eat this Chick-fil-A. Kermel Moten versus Flores. Let's watch Kermel. And then I'll answer Kermel Emiliano as of right now at 21 each. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's like, I don't know if anyone's thinking of Charlie Suarez. That's a hardcore, hey, if you watched it, yeah, Suarez kind of got jobbed with the way it ended. You know, he caused a cut. I covered that fight ringside. But unfortunately, he hasn't done anything to remain in the boxing consciousness to make people, you know, really want to see him get his second bite at the apple. Some of that might not be his fault. He might, you know, have a messed up promotional company or something behind him and, you know, just not get any opportunities. But that's how that goes. All right, I'm watching Kermel now. Shock went life or death with Rocky Hernandez. He did end up stopping him, but he lost literally all around till he stopped him. I just don't think Shock will be able to keep Navarrete off him. You could say Shock went life and death with Rocky Hernandez, and you could also say Navarrete lost and got outboxed by Denis Berancek. Like, they've both had some inconsistencies, but when they both enter the ring at their best, which I think they would if they fought each other, they're both really good. So, all right, Kermel, nice pink and blue look. It's hard. I'm tempted at first thought and first glance to give an edge to Emiliano. But I don't know, man. Kermel, I could also see Kermel, if they turned the lights down in the gym and made them go at it in the doghouse, beating the shit out of Emiliano. So it's hard to say. I don't know. It's hard to say. They're both talented. I like both. Talent-wise, upside-wise. Emiliano's a little bigger than him. Not bigger, but longer, a little taller. I think Emiliano has a better jab. But the way Emiliano ultimately won that fight in the last couple rounds by staying in the kitchen and ripping some shots, oof, Kermel got a little bit more firepower than him. Naturally. Kermel's good. Just isn't being developed right. I might have to, I don't know. I might have to go with Kermel. I don't know. Emiliano right now at 21 is getting better experience in matchmaking to develop him. I like both. Yeah, I can see Kermel thinking I'm on crack for thinking Emiliano would get the better of him. Kermel, if you let him get in range and rip, he's vicious. He is. But I think Emiliano, even though we were talking earlier tonight about how he has to get better on the back foot and taking his walk, oof, Kermel is good when he gets to his range, bro. He rips shit. Oof, I don't know, man. And Kermel got more of that, I'm trying to get out the hood viciousness to the way he attacks and throws his shot, the way his shots come out. They got more spite than Emiliano. It was good. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but it's not. Yeah, Kermel got more of that killer with the way he rips. But Emiliano's, you know, fast as shit, a little bit longer. He's getting developed better. It'd be a good one. At 21, it'd be a good one. It'd be a really fun fight. Kermel doesn't jab as much as Emiliano, and Emiliano doesn't use his jab enough either. But Kermel has flashes of some really beautiful. They both do, but if they stayed in the kitchen all night, Kermel. I don't know. I like both of them, man. Am I making sense? You're getting a live stream of consciousness as I watch his 2-round fight with Wilfredo Flores. He doesn't jab enough though, Kermel. I interviewed him. I have one of his fights full length on the channel against Rennie. I can't remember his name. Rennie V something, but I like his body work, man. Him and Emiliano rip to the body good. I think Kermel rips a little more viciously. Emiliano, though, has that Lomachenko, you know, high-tech, you know, I mean, they both got excellent hand speed, man. Emiliano moves his head. Now, Kermel reacts in the midst of the exchanges really well. He's good at ducking underneath and slipping shots and coming back with a shot. Vargas is too. Kermel does it a little bit more naturally. But Vargas does twitch his upper body pre-punch a little bit more than Kermel does too, though. Yeah, someone said Kermel, Anglo said Kermel Tank 2.0. Some similarities there. He's busier than Tank and likes to throw more combinations than Tank, but he's not as heavy-handed as Tank. Tank's a bigger puncher. But Kermel can punch, for sure. But he ain't the bomb you out with one shot puncher that Tank is. He doesn't have that level of heavy hands. Good yeah, he's more of a combination puncher. Really good speed, really good combinations, good spite that he fights with. He fights vicious. I would look in a 10-round fight. I give the edge to Emiliano because his development matters. But in a sparring session, with the gym cleared out, Kermel might dog him a little bit. But over 10 rounds where he has to make Kermel think and puts a jab in his face. Not that Emiliano's super good with the jab, and it's just Kermel hasn't gone quality rounds yet with some solid pros. He's a little bit more natural. They're both talented, but yeah, he's a little bit more natural at talent. Let's look at Emiliano's. The last couple guys he's fought: 22-2-1, 19-3, 23-1. Even before that, 20-7-2. These are guys that are very meh, but Kermel, by comparison, Renny Viamonte is the fight I have on the channel. Where was that fight that I have? But Kermel's 19. Oh yeah. Emiliano's 21. So I'm tripping. I thought they were both 21. But he's had two fights in the last year. Emiliano's had 5 fights in the last. So he's just getting developed better for one. And then level of opposition. Kermel has yet to fight one of those Kintana guys who's 22-2. Jonathan Montrell 19-3, where they got a respectable professional record. They know how to handle themselves in there. Look at Kermel's fight on my channel with Rennie. That guy was a stinker. He was a spoiler, and he took Kermel the distance. And since Kermel didn't use his jab, he couldn't really cut the distance consistently. So Emiliano with 2 years of age on him and a longer reach and a little bit more height and much better development. I think in a 10-round fight, you favor Emiliano. But in a sparring session, I'd favor Kermel. And people that know boxing know what I mean by all that. So Vargas keeps his head on the line, can be timed, says Attorney Bailey. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get too deep with it. Not going to die on the hill for either guy. They're both unproven, talented, legit talented, marketable prospects. So, yeah. Who's the Eli Manning of boxing? An average who beat the GOAT twice in their prime? Junior Jones against Barrera? No. That's a good question. Ken Norton against Ali? Or Joe Frazier against Ali? But Ken Norton, a lot of people thought beat Ali 2 out of 3. Some people thought 3 out of 3. Ken Norton. Sandy Sadler. Maybe against Willie Pep. Hey, what's up, Tego? Thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. In a sparring session, what the hell does that mean? In a sparring session, less talent, less experience, but maybe more talented younger fighters beat the shit out of more experienced champions all the time. So in a 10-round fight where you have to account for experience under a certain stage and the fight, and sparring sessions don't tend to go 10 straight rounds. Sparring sessions tend to be 6 rounds max between 2 guys, okay? So, and then they rotate other fighters in or whatever. So if they're going to go, 6 rounds and just it's head up in the gym and it's not these nerves and the and you don't have that fight night tightness to your game and everything, and it's just a lot of times the younger guy who's just a great talent winds up beating the hell out of the dude who's a little more experienced and crafty and those kinds of things. You know how many amateurs have gotten off on champions in the gym, but then if it was under the bright lights, the champions would, tame and maybe tap that ass. Like, it happens all the time. So that's what I mean. No, you're good, aircraft carrier. I wasn't offended by your question or anything. I just meant, that's what I was getting at. Thanks for asking so I could help clear it up. Who do I think would have won if Hector Camacho and Prince Nassim ever fought? I mean, off top, I'm going Camacho because Nassim was a featherweight and Camacho, was excellent at 30 and 35. And, I would give the edge to Camacho. Like Floyd, right, Boog? Floyd had Spence lump him up, once or one time in the gym. Although I heard he turned the tables in a sparring session. Had Haney get at him, Spadafora, other guys. But then, put him under the bright lights, and it'll go different. Is Thurman my friend? I like Keith Thurman, good dude. I once walked out of Staples Center with him after the Porter Spence fight and ate a hot dog with him and his wife, and he was cool as fuck. But I got Fundora stopping him. So, but I still like him. I would like to be his friend. Jada Plug says, "What's good, Sean? Keep up the coverage of, what's up, Sean? Good coverage of the fight. Keep doing your thing." Thank you, my man. I appreciate everybody coming in. And yeah. So let me indulge a little bit. All right, let me indulge before I get out of here. So, a lot of people that come to my channel, not most of you wonderful people, but a lot of people that come to the channel, they go, "Sean, what's your problem? Why are you always tripping and talking about this Saudi stuff and even connecting it to Ari Emanuel and the guys that run TKO and all that, right?" Well, I gotta take it here, okay? So it put it on my heart yesterday, because I thought I was gonna go to the Apex Center to cover Opataya's workout. Anyway, I got caught up. Once they pushed it back 2 hours, I had something else to do and I didn't make that. I let them know I couldn't make it. But Paramount just merged, even though Paramount is worth less than a tenth of Netflix, but Paramount is backed by Larry and David Ellison. Larry Ellison, David Ellison's father, who backs this Paramount Skydance. Larry Ellison is the biggest donor to the Israeli Defense Force. And Ari Emanuel has always backed the Ellisons in this merger. Okay? Ari, as you guys know, runs TKO. He's Dana's boss. He is the biggest agent in Hollywood through Endeavor, etc., right? So yesterday, because Jared Kushner is part of this backing of Paramount to take Warner Brothers Discovery, okay, and the Ellisons and Ari used to be Trump's agent and all that, and I am not a Democrat. This is not a Democrat making a point about a Republican president. I don't vote. I don't gangbang, homie. I don't put on a football jersey when it comes to the truth and politics. Anyways, they Paramount just merged with Warner Brothers Discovery. They got a crazy, portion of the media. And so I said, is it becoming clearer now that this is deeper than boxing? David Ellison, along with the Saudi Public Investment Fund, who helped back this merger, right? They helped finance it, will now conclude a merger between the Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Bros. Discovery. The country that our agencies concluded killed Jamal Khashoggi, a.k.a. Saudi Arabia, along with IDF donors, Israel Defense Force, are buying up a huge portion of U.S. media, right? And so then I said, many of my colleagues in the boxing media are either blind, bought, or apathetic to the bigger picture and what it means for the infrastructure of the United States, meaning foreign influence controls much of your mainstream media now, which is nothing new, but it continues to be put right in your face, right? There are grievances with the way the sport was run by previous powers that be, like, Al Heyman this, and I get it. All those criticisms about Heyman and Arum and Hearn and the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, all that, all of them make them overlook what's going on, forget just in boxing, but how boxing, which is always finds a way to be a microcosm of the bigger picture, going back to Lewis and Schmeling and Jack Johnson all the way through to now. Anyway, and I said, and Dana White are the people that are the front man for this kind of stuff, meaning people like Dana, you know, bald white guy, American, America first. There, he's actually the cover, the front for Saudi and, you know, Zionist people who are very pro-Israel heading American media. Okay, literally the biggest donor to the IDF being the Ellisons, who now control, you know, a lot of American mainstream media. And because Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, and because Trump is getting private jets from Saudi and all this stuff, and, you know, low-key, the Epstein files, maybe having some people blackmailed doesn't help. But anyways, I said left-wingers were conditioned for a long time to hate the United States. Hey, the United States is racist and imperialistic, so who gives a fuck if it's being subverted? And then the right-wingers who would claim to love the United States and care about all that stuff, they're so bought into Trump that they bury their head in the hand when it comes to his connections to Epstein and being in bed with Saudi Israel, so they're not saying anything either, right? So you'd be like, Sean, you are tripping. You're going off the deep end. And then a few moments later, unfortunately, literally that night after I tweeted all that, the United States and Israel attacked Iran. Isn't that interesting that happened right after the biggest IDF donors now own a lot of the mainstream media? Gee, it's almost like they have propaganda in place for a war that might be coming. But Emanuel Navarrete unifies for the first time. Good shit, Emanuel Navarrete. So, how do I feel about the war with Iran? I feel like, damn, I get a little scared talking about this stuff, if I'm being honest. I feel like it doesn't benefit us. I'll leave it at that. I feel like I talk to a lot of educated adults older than me. They talk about the cost of being a world power. You know what I mean? But Iraq, I don't think benefited us. I think it benefited Saudi and Israel more. You look at economically, the $40 trillion in debt the United States is in, the cultural decline in a lot of ways, and the division in this country. I'm old enough to remember 1999 and 2000. We had problems then, but 9/11, if you look into it, look at a lot of culture critics, look at a lot of geopolitical analysts, they mark it as the time that America really began to decline and everything, to a new level. And you know, I would like the United States to try to get itself back on its feet economically within its own borders, solve all this division we have going on before getting into another war in the Middle East. Everybody with hindsight 2020 agreed going into Iraq was a bad idea. And seeing this happen, it's like, hey, it's like we've learned nothing. So I don't like it. I'm sorry for getting on about that, but I just am saying, ultimately, all this stuff I've been connecting, I think it's coming to a head now in the bigger picture. It shows why I've been concerned about it. You could feel differently about it. I get it. I'm sorry. Let's take it back to boxing to end. Maria says too soon. I'm sorry, Maria. I hope that didn't come out, you know, shitty of me. But anyways, let's close. Navarrete wins by unification. Would love to see him fight Oshaki Foster. Jai Opataia's up next week. Brandon Glanton punches very hard from Atlanta. I would, you know, and we got Benavidez Zerto coming up. We got Thurman Fundora. I got Fundora stopping Thurman. And I wish the WBC was doing its job. I don't think the WBC should be sanctioning Usyk. I don't think the WBC should just kick around interim titles. They don't even think of making Pitbull versus Dalton Smith. While they don't even think of making Fundora versus Virgil Ortiz. And Cabiel is just sitting there and has to see Usyk defend the title against a kickboxer. All right, Usyk's Usyk. He's fought all the killers. He's completed boxing. So defend the belt in a non-title fight. But, hey, we got bigger problems these days, right? So Nunez was badly overmatched. In the end, he was aircraft carrier. But heading into the fight, he was a favorite. So, you know, credit to Navarrete. He did his thing. But that's it, and that's all. Thank you guys for joining here on the chat. God bless all of you. Hope the best for everyone, our country, everybody who tuned in. people who don't like me and like me alike. I wish the best for everyone, and everyone have a great night. And oh, thank you, Maria. I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear you didn't feel that way. Sean, they're gonna come for you, bro. Stay safe. No, they won't. No, they won't. You know, they won't. And my little old channel is not gonna cause any disruptions to where they would come for me. I believe. So, but yeah, much love to everybody. Thank you for coming in, and good night, great night in the main event. Great night. I think Emiliano got some valuable rounds in. Carmel looked damn good in his 2 rounds at 19 years old. And Tamir Smalls, you know, left something to be desired, and the old veteran Abel Ramos beat him fair and square. So